Welcome to What in the Duck podcast. I'm your host, Oliver Peck. What in the Duck podcast is proud to be sponsored by Yellow Rose Canyon, your premier event space and campground nestled in the piney woods of East Texas. With cabins and RV sites available, Yellow Rose Canyon is perfect for your next event, no matter the size. A wedding, reunion, festival, you name it. Check it all out at yellowrosecanyon.com. Welcome to another episode of What in the Duck podcast. I'm your host, Oliver Peck, and today, back in the booth, and very, very happy to announce that I have none other than the one and the only Carl Block, potter extraordinaire, on the episode today. I am a heavy collector of Carl Block pottery, and some of you may or may not know about pottery at all. But today you're going to learn about Carl Block and face jugs, and just, he's a great artist. He is an amazing character and a wonderful man. And I'm stoked for all you guys to get introduced into the world of Carl Block pottery today. It is a very cool craft, a very cool art, and I love his jugs. A lot of people collect Carl Block jugs, and I am one of them. I'm going to start off the episode with a couple of questions from the Gmail. As always, if you have any questions you want to ask me, you can email any questions you have to whatintheduckpodcast@gmail.com. And if we answer your question on the show, we'll be sending you some cool shit, courtesy of What in the Duck Podcast. First question from Chris South. Very short, quick, to the point question. What's the craziest rumor about yourself you have ever heard? There's a lot of rumors. And just to speak of rumors in general, I love rumors. I love hearing rumors. I love spreading rumors. I love talking about rumors. I love the unsubstantiated rumors, my favorite. I cannot confirm this, but I heard. But one thing that I have heard about myself, and a lot of people ask me this repeatedly because apparently it's on the internet. It says, and I'm not sure where you find this, but maybe in like Wikipedia or something like that. It says that I have a daughter. I do not have a daughter. I do not have any children of any kind. I do not have a daughter, but for years, the internet has told people that I do have a daughter. So people always ask me about my daughter. I'm like, I do have a younger than me half sister from my father and one of his intermediate girls that he had at some point in my life. But I do not have a daughter. But there is a Leslie Peck out there that's probably young enough to be my daughter. I don't know. Maybe. Nah, she's probably not that young. But, yeah. I don't know. I don't know where they get this information. I remember a long time ago, people would look up on the internet when the internet was new, and it would tell you, like, how much people are worth. And I remember it saying I was worth, like, X amount of dollars. And I said, how do I get that money? Where do I get it? If I'm worth this much money, let's have it. Like, show me where it is. I'll take it. But the daughter I will not take. So do not turn up where the daughter is. I do not know anything about said daughter. And it's just not true. There's not even a chance that I have a daughter. There's no daughter out there. So if someone told you that I'm your father, they are mistaken. Next question from David Orton. It says, hey, Oliver, I love hearing you talk with and about other tattooers, especially those you're friends with. Recently, you mentioned Tyson Arndt, which I don't even recognize that name. I give that name zero credence. The name is Tony Big Time. So recently I mentioned Tony Big Time. I definitely did not mention the previous name. If I mentioned it, I mentioned Tony Big Time. And David says he actually gave me my first tattoo, and I chose him because I knew he was a frequent guest at Elm Street Tattoo. Hey, sweet. Spreading the word of good tattooers around. Now that he's opened his own shop, Big Time Walk-In Tattoo in Portland, I'm curious, how did he end up with the name Tony Big Time? Love the podcast. Thanks always, Dave. So Tony fucking Big Time is I will tell you the story. When I met Tony Big Time before he was Tony Big Time. So I will say Tyson Art, because I did meet Tyson Art many years ago at a tattoo convention in DC, probably 20 plus years ago. He was a young kid, and I tattooed him, and we kind of became a little bit of friends. And then I saw him at some other conventions, and then I saw him at an overseas convention, and we hung out, and I tattooed him a handful of more times. And they invited me to come tattoo in Stockholm, Sweden, where he was living at the time. And he was working for a common friend of ours named Theo Jack, who had a shop, Infamous Tattoo, in Sweden, in Stockholm City. And I went there a few times and worked, and it was great. And I always stayed with Tony there. And what had happened is not to tell too many tales out of school, but Tony Big Time back then, he was capitalizing on the unique opportunity he had, which was being a cool tattooed American in Stockholm, Sweden, who also pretty quickly picked up Swedish and spoke Swedish and was in the scene there and was tattooing, and he was partying, and he was, let's just say, he was hooking up with a lot of chicks. He had the game. He didn't really have any game in America or in the English language, but somehow, being from America and being in Sweden, he kind of, had this way that just seemed to work. It was like when an Australian comes to Texas and they just clean up. And so Tony Big Time was living a dream in Sweden. Well, Tyson Art was living a dream in Sweden. He was tattooing. He was traveling all over the world. He basically just had girls falling all over him everywhere he went. He was what they call a player. And so he ended up dating this older woman who was a famous Swedish actress. And at this current time, I'm not going to remember her name, but she was like the Nicole Kidman in Sweden. Like, she was older, a lot older than him. And she was like this famous actress woman. So he was dating this woman, and he went to some events with her, like some red carpet type events. And he was in multiple tabloids in photos with this famous actress girl showing up to these events. And one of these tabloids had a big picture of this actress with him, and it said, so-and-so, famous actress, whatever her name is, like, shows up at the gala with her tattooed boyfriend, Tony. And it said, the headlines over there will have like English words. Tattooed boyfriend named Tony. And he had this tabloid, and I said, Tony, you've hit the big time. And from then on, I refused to refer to him as anything other than Tony Big Time. And sure enough, he's Tony Big Time. He recently did open his own shop. He moved to Portland, worked in Portland for a lot of years, had a great shop, made a great name for himself in Portland, traveled all over the world. Finally, he ended up taking over another shop, buying a shop, opening the shop, had a previous name to the shop. And I talked to Tony pretty frequently. And he's like, hey, man, I'm opening this shop. I'm thinking about buying this shop. And then that didn't go through, and then another shop. So anyway, long story short, or maybe it's not that short, but he said, what should I name this shop? And I said, don't even play dumb with me, dude. There's only one name that you can name this shop. And he was like, what? I'm like, don't, just, He goes, Big Time Tattoo. I was like, yeah. Fucking Big Time Tattoo. What else are you gonna fucking name it? It's the only thing. It's the only There's not even, you can't even make a list of things to choose from. That is just the name of the shop, whatever it is. He's like, I'm thinking about just leaving it the name that it was. I'm like, absolutely not. You got to name this thing Big Time Tattoo. End of the story. No questions about it. And then the next week we were texting again. And he said something about the name of the shop. I was like, listen, dude, I promise you, I'll make you a promise. If you name this tattoo shop anything other than Big Time Tattoo, I am going to drive to Portland and throw a brick through the fucking window. And I was serious. I meant it. I was like, I will drive there just for that. I drive all across the country all the time for a lot less fun things than this. I would definitely drive to Portland. And I mean, mostly what's happening in Portland, and people are throwing bricks through windows anyway, so it's wouldn't even be that big a deal, but I would do it. But unfortunately and luckily, I don't have to drive to Portland and throw a brick through the window, because he did name the shop Big Time Walk-In Tattoo. And it's open now in Portland. Tony fucking Big Time. You can go there and you can get a tattoo from him. And it's a cool shop. And he just got the windows painted. It says Big Time Tattoo on it. Real cool. And he's going to have cool merch. And you got to admit, it's a cool fucking name for a tattoo shop. And I think it's a good positive note to end on. We're going to get into this episode with Carl Block. It's a good, long episode, and Carl Block is just a pleasure to listen to. So I hope you enjoy it. And you may notice there's some pottery sitting on the desk right now. These are Carl Block jugs. A few of my, just a little sampling of the collection of jugs that I have. And enjoy the episode. Carl Block. What in the Duck podcast is proud to be sponsored by Dream Machines of Texas. All of your used motorcycle wants and needs all in one place at dreammachinesoftexas.com. They have multiple locations, large inventory, and get new bikes in every week. Knowledgeable staff with great service, financing, and extended warranty options available. They also have a complete service garage, so every bike is gone through and brought up to speed before you hit the road. I've bought more than a few bikes from Dream Machines over the years, and I could not be more satisfied. I have also had friends from all over the country buy bikes because they couldn't find a better deal anywhere. You can buy a bike and have it shipped to you anywhere in the U.S. Why buy a brand new bike with that brand new high price when you can get a like-new bike with that dream deal you've been looking for? Go to dreammachinesoftexas.com and get a bike and get your ass on the road. Welcome to another episode of What in the Duck podcast. I'm your host, Oliver Peck, and today I'm very fortunate to have an incredible human being, Mr. Carl Block.
Wow, that's nice.
Here with me today. I know a lot of you know about Carl Block, and I know some of you may not, and today's the day to learn all about it. Mm-hmm. Potter extraordinaire.
Potter extraordinaire.
Artist. Lifelong artist.
Lifelong artist.
Art teacher.
Art teacher. Retired.
Retired art teacher.
Don't ask for lessons.
Well, I'll just start off by saying right off the bat that I've been collecting your artwork for quite some time. Mm-hmm. We've been selling your artwork for a long time now. Mm-hmm. And people see this stuff in the store or at my house, and they're like, hey, did a guy named Carl Block make that?
Ex-students.
And I'll say, yeah. And they're like, he was my teacher. Uh-huh. And that has happened dozens and dozens of times. You have left a mark on so many people in the area.
Some of them a scar.
Yeah. But people almost always say he was my favorite teacher.
Wow. That's nice. Very
people
nice to hear.
That. People say that all the time. Yeah. And there's a big span of years. I don't know. I mean, we're going to learn some details today, but I don't know the span of your years that you taught. Uh-huh. But it seems, from my experience, it's a wide range of people.
It is a wide range.
For, how long did you teach?
29 years.
Yeah. So I was going to say that there'd be somebody who was like in their just, early 20s, and then somebody who was in their late 30s.
50s.
And they're like, oh man, Carl Block. And so That's a lot of people coming through the door.
It is a lot of people coming through the door.
Oh man.
Yeah. I tried to count it up one time. It was about 550 a year.
Yeah.
So that's as far as my math went.
Well, in my recollections of being in high school,
Mm-hmm.
like there's a lot of teachers that you just don't really remember.
You remember your shop teacher?
I do remember Mr. Vickery.
Yeah.
He was the best.
Yeah.
And there was some teachers that just stood out. Whether you had them in a class or not, you still knew who they were. And I am willing to bet that then during those years, people took your class or not, they still knew who Carl Block was.
Yeah, probably. That's probably true.
If you were any such kind of a character back then as you are now.
Yes.
Like just a friendly, outgoing, happy face to greet at all times. I figured you got that way from so many interactions with so many people. You're very comfortable in a group setting, and when you do like the Odd Fest and you're at your booth, you are the guy that's barking out the front of the booth, saying hi to everybody that walks by.
Everybody needs to be told hello. You know what I mean? I mean, it's a pleasure, number one, to see you. It's true. I had a good run as an art teacher at the high school, and thousands of kids. It was great. No complaints about that. I enjoyed it, and I left happy. As most things in life, the adults were the problem, not the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Leave it to the adults. We'll ruin everything.
We will ruin everything. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, my first question about art in general is, before you did pottery, what art were you? This is something I do not know anything about.
Oh, okay.
You as far.
Okay.
Before you did pottery, what art were you doing?
I drew a lot. I was that kid that would be in the bedroom, at the house drawing.
That was me.
Drawing. I had a drawing table. Before I had a drawing table, I'd, laying on the bed drawing, sketch pads, all that stuff. Yeah, just drawing. I mean, and because that's, we didn't have a lot of money growing up, and that's what we had. And so I had pads.
And there was no video games.
There was no video games, no cell phone. And none of the distractions that we have now. It was amazing, but that's how it all started, was just drawing. And that was something I was successful at.
I can remember being a kid and going to my room and drawing. I had a drawing table and a lot of times I had like the drafting board that I would sit on my lap.
Yeah. I had that.
And I would start to draw something, and I would be drawing, and then my mom would come in and be like, "Hey, it's time for dinner." And it's like, man, it's been 5 hours.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Or you look at the window and it's dark outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just get lost in it.
Yeah. It was a good thing to fall into.
So to end up being a teacher, you had to have some education.
I did.
And you have to get some sort of, I'm assuming,
hoops.
To be an art teacher, there's some pseudo credentials you need to say, hey, I know about art. I can tell other people about art.
Yeah. You got to jump the hoops. You got to get a Texas teaching certificate, which requires a college degree, which is, I was the first in my family to graduate from a 4-year college. And, it was a crooked path. My dad and my brothers were all engineers, not like train engineers, but like drafting engineers. Yep. And I could draft. I could do that. I took it in high school. I didn't enjoy it. I hated the math. And down this crooked path, I eventually made it to North Texas, and a
very artful college.
The big art school. I went and looked at different schools
for Texas. It's the art school.
Yeah. It was rated number 1 in the state. And I knew then, I didn't know what I was going to do there, but I knew I wanted to make art. And I was, it's funny. And I used to tell students this all the time. Every flower blooms at a different time. And I had not bloomed. And when I got to North Texas, I finally bloomed. I don't know why, but it was like I found all these different things I could do and I was really good at. And I hadn't really been good at much before that. I've been okay getting by, but I hadn't really engaged and got sucked into something. And when I got to North Texas, I took clay, which I'd been taking all along, and I knew I loved clay. And then I took a painting class, drawing class, took a jewelry class, took metal sculpture, all this stuff. And I got recruited by everybody. Your junior year, you had to show a portfolio review, and clay recruited me, jewelry recruited me. They're like, oh, you could do great in this, you could do great in this, you could do great in this. And so I went with clay because clay had that masculinity to it. It was heavy, and you played with fire.
Yeah.
And you had to be strong to throw pots on the wheel, and I was a fool because I should have gone into jewelry because that's where all the dough is.
Big money in jewelry.
Big money, man. And you could go to a sale and nobody's selling anything, but the jewelers are killing it. So that was my path. And I had to get, as you're saying about teaching, I got a certificate. I majored in art, minored in education because, Oliver, probably like you, there was only one or two people in high school that I felt like really gave me the time of the day, teachers wise. And I wanted to make a better place on this earth. I wanted to have a life with a purpose. And so I wanted to make a place where a lot of kids could take harbor. And that's why I did it. And that was my goal in teaching. And I think that's why I was always successful, because I was always glad to see those kids. They were glad to have a place to hide from the real world, a place where they could talk in class, a place where they could interact, move around, and that kind of stuff. And so that was my goal, was to make a better place. And I did that for 29 years. That was my goal. I didn't do it every day. Some days I made it a horrible place, I'm sure. But, it's just life. But no, it was great. I enjoyed it. I got a certificate. I taught school. And it was a ton of fun. It was a lot of fun.
Well, just hearing you tell the story about like being a painter, or painting and drawing and sculpture and then clay.
The works.
Like now you look at your work now and it's all of those things.
It is
because
all
it's
of those
not
things.
just a jug.
Yeah.
It's a designed,
right,
sculpted, drawn, and painted jug.
Well, that's one of the things I like about you, or love about you, I should say, is you've always seen that. You can always see that. You've talked to me about my line work. You've talked to me about the brush work, all of those things. And we relate artistically. And that's when you asked me to do this, I was excited because it's like, I get to talk to Oliver about art, and I've watched a couple of the episodes and on the YouTube, and, it's going to be, I've been excited for days.
Well, good.
Because I wanted
Thank you for being here.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. Yeah. It's fun. It's always good to see you.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, basically, at what point in this journey did you make a face jug?
I think it was in probably just moved to Waxahachie, teaching school, probably 85. I had a little bitty shop in Forreston, and I got interested, books. You had art books, I had art books, and I had a book on Southern folk pottery. And the face jugs really grabbed me. I mean, it's, the jug form itself lends itself to putting a face on it. And I really liked a lot of those that I saw in those books. And so
it's what we call functional art, right?
Because
it's a jug. It
is a jug. Yeah. It is a jug. And I'll tell you the story.
It's not just a sculpture.
No.
It's actually a jug.
It is a function.
It's a potable jug. Yeah.
It does perform a function. Yeah. That's the difference really between art and craft. Craft performs a function. Art does not. Let me show you. Look at here. Ready? So the theory behind a face jug is that it's three things. It's either the spirit of the liquor, or it's a way to keep kids out of it because it's scary.
Put a scary face on it.
And you never have to drink alone.
There you go.
Yeah.
You got a buddy.
Yeah. And I thought that's fabulous. I really like that. And so I just started making them. My mom just passed away.
Yes.
And when we were cleaning out our house, I found the first one I made.
Whoa.
Yeah. I gave it to her. And so I've got it back.
Very cool.
And it's for sale. I'm kidding. I'm keeping it.
I know. Yeah. The passing of your parents is it's a trying time.
Yeah. I mean, she was ready to go.
Yeah. It's a very, it's one of those things. My grandmother passed away, and it was like, it was a good time. She had a very long life.
90 mine was 92 years of doing what she wanted to do. I mean, what more can you ask?
What more can you get?
There's nothing.
I mean, how long can we want somebody to stick through this? You know what I mean?
Yeah, she's ready to go. She was mad she wasn't gone. So,
well, bless her.
Yeah.
So the story of the face jug,
Mhm.
there's the folk history of the face jug. I don't know how far back it dates.
Well, there's faces on pots going all the way back,
Aztec era,
way
Mayan era,
past that.
Chinese dynasty eras. There's like all through the ages,
yeah.
different cultures all over the world.
Everybody.
Yeah, it's
everybody's done it.
From what I've heard about the American culture of the
Mhm.
folk art face jug is that
Mhm.
it is, like you said, they put it on the liquor bottle and you put a scary face on it so the kids don't drink out of it.
Right. That's one of them. Yeah.
I don't know if that's specific to American history or if the older face jugs were just decorative or.
I think that's specific to American history, the Southern history. And, also, too, it was like a branding thing because a lot of the potters in the South, there's this huge vein of white clay, stoneware clay in the Cabral Valley. And, in Georgia, North Carolina, and all that area. And those guys, they would farm all summer. They weren't just potters. They were guys trying to make a living. So they would farm all summer. They would dig clay. They would clean it in the winter when there was nothing going on, and they learned to make pots. And so a lot of them were making their own liquor and putting it in their own pots they made. And the jugs they sculpted became almost like logos of whose liquor this was.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
That's very cool. The Wilsons, the Hewells, all those, there's famous families, all through the South. Famous families.
Pottery itself is unknown of its origin, how long it's been going on.
Well, it's the key to civilization because you could store food, you could stay. You didn't have to follow the herd.
Yeah. I mean, not living by water. Right.
Right.
I mean? You have to be able to pot water and take it somewhere.
Yeah.
And, whatever.
It's step one.
Yeah. It's ancient.
Mm-hmm. It's ancient.
Ancient crafts that had melded its way into art. People put,
right.
And I think that it's cool now that there's still artists that are taking this ancient craft and making functional art and making, a whole art career out of this.
Well, too.
So 40 plus years.
45.
You've been making face jugs.
Right. Right.
And you, you're very well known.
Only because of longevity.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, back to ancient crafts, you're doing the same thing.
Yes.
Right.
I love ancient crafts.
It's beautiful. Why? I mean, my theory on art is to put one step forward and one step in tradition. You've always got to carry it forward. Otherwise, you're not making art. And you're doing that. Your friends are doing that. Our friends are doing that with the tattoo world. And hopefully my friends are doing that in the art world.
Well, I collect carbon block pottery. I'm a huge collector of carbon block pottery.
You're a smart man.
And a lot of people, that come to Elm Fest or come to my house or come to whatever, they get intrigued instantly. And it's a lot of people tattooers love it now. So tattooers all over the country have carbon block jugs in their tattoo shops.
I know. And it's fabulous.
And even people that you don't really expect, like Audra stepmom, she's like, what is this? I gotta have one of those.
Yeah.
Oh,
good.
It's like,
well, she's a woman of taste.
Yeah, she is.
Yes.
She is. And I've referenced you so many times to other people that start a new venture and start a new craft or a new project, and they want to and I'm like, nobody's gonna care that you've made a couple dozen of these things. You got to make hundreds of these things.
Yeah.
You got to keep making it till you get to this point where it's second nature, to where it just has that feel. And you have to. Yeah. People don't collect things that somebody made for a few months. Nobody's ever going to collect art from someone who made art for a few months.
No. It doesn't have the flow.
No, you've got to make.
Yeah. It doesn't have that energy, and it doesn't, it's not in the flow, and it's, you just can't hit. I mean, you've got to stay in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you stay in the game because you love it.
Well, what year did you meet Bruce Webb?
Bruce Webb, I'd say 80, maybe he's one of the first people I met in Waxahachie. I'd say 80, 85, 86, something like that.
Or Bruce Webb has a great eye for art.
Great eye.
And has an art gallery. He's an art dealer. He's got connections in the art world. And he's very in tune with a lot of folk artists that people would have never heard of if it wasn't for Bruce Webb shining a light on them.
I agree with that.
And I think Bruce Webb definitely shined a light on Carl Block pottery.
I agree with that.
It's the first place I saw Carl Block pottery was through Bruce Webb.
I would agree with all that.
And not only due to the Webbs, Bruce and Julie, but yourself promote, the amount of quantity of jugs that you produce, they are out there. And for many, many years, it's a very reasonable priced item. Anybody can own a Carl Block jug.
Everybody should be able to afford art.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the point. Once you get it out there, more people, it spreads and more people want it. It's the same scenario as selling anything.
A potter friend of mine said that she was working in the get rich slow scheme.
Yeah.
And
there you go.
And that's making pots.
Yes. I mean, but you have pottery, you have art on display around the world.
Yes. I'm lucky.
You have a lot of people that know me will be in some city at a House of Blues, and they'll send me a picture of a Carl Block jug in a House of Blues in whatever city, and they're like, look what's here. I'm like, dude, Carl Block jugs are everywhere.
I know. I'm the number one stolen item in the House of Blues. They have to, they glue them down.
I know. I've had a bunch of friends like steal, because not Carl Block jugs, but there's stuff at House of Blues, like they'll have like actual old antique tattoo flash on the wall in there, and somebody will be like, zip it up and take it.
Man, they have some cool stuff in those places.
They did.
Yeah.
They do, and they did a lot, and they still do a little.
Yeah. There's not many of those places left like there were.
There's still a few left, but they're not stocking cool shit in there anymore. The care for actual real artifacts is gone. It's like we can just have a new mural put up or take a print of something and put it up instead of putting some original art in there.
Right. It's cheaper.
Yeah, of course.
Way cheaper. You're talking about pots everywhere. So lucky a lot of people that collected stuff have donated their collections to museums. And so I'm in a lot of museums just because I was part of a collection.
Very cool.
Yeah. I mean, I have pots in the Smithsonian. Funny story. I have pots in the Smithsonian and from a man's collection. And he was in Webb Gallery, and one of my students was in there, and one of my students was showing the Webbs one of his pots that he made in my class. And they were like, oh, and this guy was really nice, and he said, I'd like to own that. Can I buy it from you? And so the student sold it to him, and decades later, the Smithsonian was having an auction, cleaning out stuff, what they do every now and then, and I got the catalog, and my work was not in there, which meant they kept it, but his was, and he had a photo in the Smithsonian this kid, high school kid.
Very cool.
Very cool. And of course, I got the catalog and gave it to him, and it was a great thing. He's a grown man with kids.
But you didn't buy it?
No. Are you kidding me? I didn't want that. It wasn't very good.
It's very cool though.
Yeah, it's a great story. Yeah.
Well, I can't remember. I wish I could remember dates and times, but I mean, I've got jugs that I got from you more than 25 years ago, probably.
Yeah. Easy.
And I've tried to, and I've bought a few jugs from you over the years that were older. You're like, oh, I got this old one.
Yeah. And some of the wood fire stuff.
Yeah, some of the wood fire stuff. And,
Yeah.
And then, so now whenever they kind of evolve in different things, and
still growing.
You'll do like, this is one of the new ones with the weird little mouse ears on it or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I like to have at least one from each time an evolution happens. You know what I mean? And
well, I brought one today, that pink one right there. That's a new color.
It's cool.
And I'm really into pink. I don't know why. Sometimes colors just speak to you, And this is the pink with the white under it. So it's really super bright. It's almost
Bubble
like
gum.
It's bubble gum. Yeah, it is bubble gum. It's really nice. Yeah. I like that.
I mean, there's just so much about these jugs that I could just, I just love them.
Well, let me say this.
Yeah.
I thank you because the blessing of you having an eye and understanding art, you've promoted it. You've promoted me and my work, and it is a cool thing to have in tattoo shops now, and that's all because of you. And well, I mean, they got to see the stuff, and you're a connoisseur of taste, and as you can tell,
You heard it here. You heard it here.
As you can tell, and but it is a cool thing. It's a little weird. It's a little wobbly. It's a little different, and it's not, manufactured and cranked out. And they're all different. Every one of them's different, and it is fun to go to tattoo shops and stuff and see my work.
Very cool.
In shops. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Well, one of the things you do a few times a year that I'm involved with is that you will donate a jug to be raffled off for charity.
Always.
And there's a few different events that go on throughout the year that people are doing some sort of charity deal, and they're always like, "Oh man, Carl, will you donate a jug?"
Yeah,
and you do, and it's great. And man, when there's a jug to raffle off at like the tattoo show,
it helps.
It is like every tattooer in the building is like buying shitloads of tickets.
Well, because they don't have any skin left.
I know, but we've got like all these items that are
right
on auction or raffle or whatever, and the jug sells the most tickets.
Well, that's awesome. I mean,
everybody wants the fucking jug, man.
Yeah. Well, that's a good thing.
And then our buddies, the True Font Brothers, have had you make trophies for the tattoo awards.
And that's always fun.
Make jugs. And I know people that go to that convention and they're like, today I'm going to try to do this tattoo because I want to win that jug.
I like that. I mean? I like hearing that.
People usually don't give a fuck about the trophy.
Right.
Really.
Yeah.
Most of the tattooers I know, like, whatever. Right. If you get a plaque or a trophy, you might fucking put it somewhere or whatever. Most people don't even care. Yeah. The True Fonts have done some cool shit where they try to make the prizes like something cool. Like they have these engraved machetes for a bunch of years in a row. You get, I get to win a machete.
That's what you need as a tattooer with a machete.
Yeah. But the jugs, man, it makes people want to win the contest.
Right. Well, that's cool. I try to make those everything is a work of art, and I try to make it to where those guys would be happy to have it in their shops, and it's not just like True Font Brothers. You know, it's a work. It's a nice piece.
You put it on display, and it's a cool jug, but then on the back, it says what it is. So you're not like putting it in like a trophy shelf. Like it's just a cool piece of art to have.
Yeah. A friend of mine said they'd rather have a pocket full of change than another plaque.
Right? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have any plaques hanging up in my house.
I have one or two plaques. I'm real proud of them, but they're not. I don't even know where they are. But it was an honor.
You're real proud of them. I don't know where they are.
I think one of them's in a bookcase, like laying flat.
I don't know where it is. But I'm real proud of it.
Shit on top of it. So I don't know.
Well, how many hours? So you retired from school teaching,
right? 2014.
2014. So man, that's almost 20 years.
11.
Huh?
Yeah, 11.
Almost 11 years.
Almost 11 years.
Not. Where did I get my math from?
Because you stayed up. You stayed up late at the comedy club
I did.
night.
I did.
Yeah, you're good.
Hey, nobody ever said I was a mathematician.
No,
I do not have a college degree.
We can't do it all. We can't do it all.
So, man, I thought it was longer than that. So 11 years you've been retired.
Yeah.
And full-time potter.
Full-time.
And you do a lot of pottery festivals and shows and things. And there's a big community.
Yeah.
Clay community.
It's like the tattoo community, especially in Texas.
You've told me some stories about, I'm going to this thing and we're all going to like do, and I've got those, you made those one jugs at a retreat or whatever you want to call it. What do you call it, a retreat? You call it
I don't know. What was, the wood fire guys?
Well, no, I got the ones that look like they kind of look like Mayan alien.
Oh, yeah.
That you made at a thing, at a place with at a group. What do you call it when you go on them?
At the Eye of the Dog Art Center.
Okay.
That's where I made those. Yeah, it's an art school in San Marcos run by my friend Billy Ray.
But a bunch of people get together.
Yeah. It's a collective.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Kind of a retreat.
It's kind of a retreat. Yeah, we're retreating from the reality of the grind. Anytime you leave somewhere, you know that.
Well, go into your studio.
Yeah.
It's your little back garage. You've got your kilns and your wheels and all the pots and all the stuff and raw clay sitting there. It's that's a magic place.
Well, yeah, it is. I mean, it's a workshop.
Yeah.
And it's there's good energy there. I love that shop. I'm really happy with it. Our lodge brother Frank, built it. And, man, he did a great job, and it's been so good. That shop's been so good to me. Yeah.
So since you retired from school teaching and went full-time potter, how many hours a week do you think that you're creating art?
Oh gosh.
Full-time job.
Full-time job. It's a full-time job, but I mean, I'm not killing myself.
Yeah.
I'm older now, and so I'm not killing myself. My standard day is I get up, drink 2 cups of coffee, I ride my bicycle, trying to stay in shape, ride my bike, do whatever needs to be done, for an hour. And then I go out there, usually come in, I'd say 6 hours, 5 days a week, 7 hours, 5 days a week. Yeah. But it's, when I'm there, it's a pleasure. It's not, my boss gets me.
Yeah.
He understands me. He knows when I need a day off. And so I like that. It's really good. So I probably work 35, 40 hours a week.
And you can't rush it.
No, you don't rush it. And it's like the closest thing I've ever seen to making pots is being a baker.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because it's a batch.
Yeah.
And it's a process, and you got to do this to everybody, and then you got to do this to everybody, and you got to do this to everybody. Yeah, because
you throw them all.
You
chill them all.
Sculpt them all. Decorate them all. That's what it is.
Fire them all.
Yeah, it's a batch. And you got to have enough to fire the kiln and all that. So it works in batches. And so I don't look at like hours in a day. I look at what does today need to move it to the next step. Yeah.
And then sometimes you got a show coming up.
Yeah.
And you might have to hustle to get
almost all the time.
There's always something, right?
Well, I like to work. I'm like you.
Yeah.
You and I have that in common. We both like to work.
Well, I mean, there's been the last couple of years of Elm Fest, we've missed you.
Right.
Because there's
conflict.
There's a clay festival.
Right. Texas Clay Festival.
Which is
that's Dauber. Yeah, Dirt Dauber.
Which obviously a dedicated clay festival is gonna push us to second burner.
Well, and I hate that. There's always a conflict, and that's not the only conflict I have. But the Dauber's good. I have to do the Dauber in May, and you can always move the dates on Elm Fest. So I'm fine with that. But the Dauber's good. I mean, I sold out an hour before the show opened this year. And if I'd had more work, I could have just drove up and done Elm Fest too.
Yeah.
But you know how it is. You can't do it all.
No, you can't do it all.
No.
But I mean, I've definitely, the times that I've been at the events where you're selling.
It's fun.
It's like, like at Elm Fest, like me and Greg, we'll help you carry in from the car.
Yeah.
And we're picking out which ones we're buying.
I know, you're selfish.
As we're carrying them in.
Yeah, there's ulterior motive
like
there.
There's
I'm not fooled.
I
know what's up.
I'm like, oh, let me help you carry these in. This one's not getting shown. Nobody's going to see this.
And Greg's like, oh, that one's mine, Oliver.
Too late.
Yeah.
Too late. Oh, man.
I get it. Yeah. I have shows coming up. I have Oddfest.
Oddfest coming up.
Or one of my favorite Oddfest t-shirts.
Yeah.
Oddfest coming up October 4th.
In downtown Waxahachie,
Beautiful,
Texas.
Beautiful downtown Waxahachie.
About a half an hour south of Dallas.
And I'll be there, and it supports the building. Man, the building looks so good.
It's coming together.
Yeah, Tommy.
They started on the windows.
Yeah, started on the windows. Yeah, everything looks good. And
we've got a downtown building that used to be it started out as a bank building.
Yeah.
In right off the square in downtown Waxahachie, the Oddfellows building. And over the last 20 years, there's been some every gradual remodeling done and restoration done to the building.
Since Oddfest.
And Now, the second floor is wrap around two sides of the building are big 10-foot windows, and they all need to be repaired.
Man, they're in bad shape.
And so that project is underway.
Yeah.
The guy
Yeah.
just started on the front 14 windows.
Yeah.
And it's a big undertaking project. So we are raising money for that.
Right. And you do a lot of charity work there, and I do a lot of charity work there. And Oddfest is great. It's October 4th this year. It's always the first Saturday in October, and I'll be there.
And a lot of great craft artists.
Yeah, a lot of good artists.
A lot of good stuff there.
Yeah. My beautiful wife will be there selling her wares. Leslie's there selling her hats and stuff. There's all kind of cool stuff there.
I buy stuff every year.
Yeah, I do too. And $5 t-shirts. It's always a hit.
Well, October 4th, downtown Waxahachie.
Yeah. And
you
then,
can buy a Carl Block jug.
That's right. You can. And you can meet the artist. And Oliver, you're usually there too.
Oh, yeah. I try to be there.
Yeah.
I try to be there. If I can. My travel schedule has been crazy this last couple of years.
You've been busy.
And this year has been the craziest one yet.
But you got to ride that wave.
You can't do it all, but you got to do as much as you can.
You got to ride the wave, because one day there won't be a wave.
That's right.
Yeah. I'm always waiting for the day I roll over and everybody's like, why were we buying that shit? You just don't know.
Oh,
so you got to ride it while you got it.
You got to ride it.
Yeah. Yep.
Ride it like you find it.
Yeah. There it is. Yeah. Oddfest is good. And I have Clayfest the end of October. And that's in Green, Texas. Which
that's a beautiful place.
That's a great town. It's a beautiful place. And
at these clay festivals, how many artists are showing up there?
Dude, the Texas Clay Festival, I think this is the 33rd year. And last year there were 79 Texas artists. You've got to be from Texas. It's juried. It's hard as hell to get in.
Yeah.
I got in early before it was really hard to get in.
You're grandfathered in now.
I'm grandfathered. Oh yeah. And that is a great place. It's so much fun, and everybody's doing all kind of crazy different stuff, and it's a ton of fun and great shopping, and you can't go wrong. It's a good time. And they had 30,000 people there last year in 2 days.
That's cool.
30,000 people went through that event, and it's outside, and it's rain or shine, and man, it's a hoot. Clayfest is fun.
Very cool.
Yeah. It's as fun as Oddfest in its own weird way. It's more like all these groovy artists from all over Texas that have followings. And then Oddfest is great because, there's live music, and there's cold beer, and there's new t-shirts every year. And, all the Oddball brothers are there, and that's a lot of fun. And so, I'm so lucky to have those things in my life. I look forward to both of them so much.
Well, how many people are there? How many other artists there are making face jugs?
It's funny. People will make them for a couple of years,
and then they quit.
I tell you what's funny too. People will ask my permission. Can they make face jugs? Like I own it. It'd be like asking you, can I do American traditional? You
are.
Yeah. But come on. They're like, oh, well, would you mind if I make face jugs? I'm like, rock on.
Yeah.
Rock on. Yeah. Because everybody's work is different. It doesn't matter, but nobody sticks with it. Nobody's really stuck with it. I've seen some great ones.
What made you stick with the same thing?
Man, I don't know. Artistically, it just spoke to me. I like bottles.
Yeah.
I like necking that thing in on the wheel. I like that form a lot. And I didn't think I could make a living selling bowls.
Yeah.
Cereal bowls.
The plates you make are really cool.
Well, the plates I make are cool. I make nice mugs. I can do all that stuff, but it's like, to me, I think, I don't know. It's also on the tightrope of being functional and being art. And so I like that tightrope, that it's fun. Where, I have bowls I use every day that I love at home that potters have made, but they're not fun.
Yeah.
But they're just the right amount of cereal or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
portion control.
Right, portion control. Yeah, portion control. So but I don't know. I just, you hit a niche, and it's like, what moves you? I guess is what it is. And that's what moves me is what I make. And I make what I want to make. That's the other thing.
That's the thing.
That's the thing. Yeah. And you got to find your path. The last words of the Buddha on his deathbed were find your own path.
Yeah.
Don't follow me. Find your own path. And I really think that's the secret to everything is don't get in line.
Yeah.
Be at the head of the line. You've always done that. And I respect that.
Well,
and I mean, don't try to be a leader. Find your own way.
When I was a young tattooer trying to make a living, I do whatever walks in the door.
Sure.
Whatever tattoo you're paying for, that's the one I'm doing, right?
Yeah.
And then at some point, I got to retire from being that guy,
right?
And I got to do what I wanted to do,
right?
And luckily, there's enough people that want what I want to do that I can stay busy.
Right.
It's a sweet spot. We're in that. Me and you are in right now. We're in that sweet spot because you can make whatever you want,
right? And
people will buy all the ones you make.
Hopefully.
But right now,
today,
you're in the sweet spot is and like we're riding that wave right now.
Yeah, we are.
And I just, I get to that point where I was like, man, I'm just, how much more can I do? How much longer am I going to live? How many more tattoos can my hand do before I'm crippled?
Right.
And I'm just getting, I don't want to do the things I don't want to do.
Right.
I just want to do what I know I can make look good and know I can make a difference. Or
so how much of that do you chalk up to longevity in the field?
Well, my main reason, I say this all the time, my main reason for sticking with the kind of tattoos that I do and doing American traditional tattoos is because in my 30 years of tattooing, there's no other 30-year-old tattoo that looks good.
I agree with that.
Like, you take any 30-year-old tattoo of every style, the only one that still looks good is American traditional. It's not let's throw the word American traditional out. Just a bold, solid, clean, simple tattoo.
Right.
All these other things that people do and have tried, and like I used to experiment as a young tattooer and do all kind of wild, crazy things. And now those are the tattoos that people look at and like, what is that?
Right. What's that shit on your arm?
Nobody looks at you can look at a 30-year-old clipper ship and like, oh, that's a cool ship.
So when you were doing whatever came through the door, how many like watercolor tattoos did you have to? Thousands.
And like tiny little dolphins on people's ankles that now probably look like a worm.
Hummingbirds right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That, like people like those, that little dolphin this big that girl got on her ankle when she was 18.
Yeah.
It looks like a little worm now.
Just smear. Yeah. It's like you got something on your ankle. You might want to wipe it off.
But
did you take a shower today? You got something on your ankle.
So I just, I'm riding that sweet spot.
Yeah. Well, good for you. And I do think a lot of it is longevity. And the other thing too, there's the thing about the flow. And the flow, you're in the flow, I'm in the flow, people are in the flow. My daughter was over at dinner last night. She was talking about the flow. And no, she was. And it's like, she's like, I don't want to go home. She's a counselor at a high school. And she's like, I don't want to go home because I'm in the flow of doing this job, And I was and the flow is like, it's like that sweet spot. Like you just said, it's the sweet spot to where, man, you're there. It's like when you and I were kids drawing in our bedrooms. It's that sweet spot. And you look up and it's dark outside. It's like, where'd the day go? But you don't mind because you're in the flow the whole time. That's when time just, slows down and you're there and I'm there. But I think longevity more than anything gets you to the flow. Yeah. Yeah. You can't. That's why you said earlier, nobody's collecting stuff this guy made 2 or 3 of. Yeah. Because they never got in the flow. So the flow is so important in art. So important. This is great getting to talk to you about art.
Well, I know that you don't think too much about.
I don't.
What your next thing is going to be.
Right.
Because I remember years ago, I was like, hey man, what if you did, what if you made me some kind of thing like this? And I had an idea that I thought would look cool if you did it. And you're like, that might be cool.
Yeah.
And then you're like, a couple more batches of jugs, you were just like, Yeah, it just didn't happen.
Yeah.
Like you don't force it. You don't try to.
Well, it's other people's ideas. They see it in their head.
Yeah.
And you got a better chance of disappointing somebody.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah. If you don't, it's not what I do.
Yeah.
My mom was terrible about that when I was young, making pots. Oh, well, you make me this, you make me that. And it's like, I'm in the flow. I don't want to step out of that stream.
See what happens.
And have to do this. Yeah. I do what I do. I'm like you. I do what I do.
Yeah.
You do what you do. And it's a great thing. And what a privilege to get to do that. And we went this far, have come this far to get to do that.
Well, looking at if you just look at your current new jugs, and they got a bunch of eyes, a bunch of noses, a bunch of horns, a bunch of this, a bunch of that, and then you see like an old jug where it's just like 2 eyes, a nose, and a mouth.
Yeah.
And you're just like, you had to make that jug a lot of times
before
you're like, hey, what if I did? What if I tweaked this little thing to it?
Right.
What if I tweaked that little thing to it? And and that's what I said about I like to get every year.
You're smart.
Every year, I get more jugs from you because, and now I can look at the evolution of what happened, and then like when you first made a jug with all eyeballs on it.
Yeah, eyeball jugs.
It was like, wow. Did you see that one Carl made with just all eyes on it? Man.
Yeah. Those are fun.
And then
I love those.
And then the first time I ever saw one that had the stink eye, I was like, oh, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. Well, it's the evolution.
Yeah.
And I was going to ask you, thank you, Oliver, for being my guest today. I was going to ask you, I know I work in a traditional area, but I've done that thing to where I've kept 1 foot in tradition and moved 1 foot forward. Do you feel like you've done that? You've moved that traditional style 1 foot forward.
I think so.
I think so too.
I think I did get to a point where I tweaked things my certain way, and then at some point I tweaked it too far and was like, ugh.
Yeah, I've done that.
Because then you look back at what you did last year and you're like, I just went too.
Yeah.
So now I'm kind of back where I've kind of wiggled around a bunch and I can see where not to wiggle anymore.
Yeah. That's cool.
Because people will come in like, well, what about this? Because all through the 90s and early 2000s, everybody just wanted to get the weirder thing.
Right.
Or I want this, but like,
They wanted Big Daddy Don tattoos.
They just wanted to. They wanted to like push the limits, and now it's almost better. I've seen, like I said, I wiggled way out here. I'm like, that's too far.
Yeah.
You still want to you still want to make that tattoo that somebody's going to grow old with.
Well, and it's like the jugs. It's important to me that spout is the right narrowness. Really important to me that the handles are good because a lot of people working in clay make terrible handles, or they just stay away from handles. I make really good handles. It's important to me. We call that a standard.
Yeah.
I have a standard. You have a standard. And you try to stay within that standard while still growing artistically forward. And it's easy to do if you're in the flow.
Yeah.
But if you're not in the flow, it's unsurmountable. Yeah.
Well, I would say like there's a lot of things on your jugs, like the ears that stick out and the horns that stick out. And I feel like there was I have an old jug where the ear was real thin and it kind of cracked and the ear cracked off. Now the newer jugs, they're different.
Wow.
Like you're like this, how thick the clay this is.
Yeah.
That's not going to come off as.
Well, there you go. I've gotten better.
Or you just figured out like you don't want to. It is a jug. It can't be that fragile.
Right.
It's not a Fabergé egg thing. It's still a jug and it's heavy.
Right.
So
yeah, I do throw them to where they're built to last. I don't try to get paper thin.
No, but you can. I mean, you pack them up and ship them all.
Yeah. Well, and the horns and all that kind of stuff. And I know you're big on this too. They're space breakers. When you look at a pot. Let me back up. When you look at a sculpture, you look at the positive space and the negative space. And the negative space is the space around the object. And so, if you're looking at the silhouette of the jug, it goes up, it comes out with the ears, it goes like that. It's got the horns, it comes in, it dances, and then it goes up to the spout. And it's a beautiful thing in your space instead of just, something that's just like,
Yeah.
You know, and so since I can't cut holes in them, since they still need to perform a function in theory, I say they allude to function.
Yeah.
Since that I can't cut holes in them, I really have to pay attention to the outline of the outside of the pot, like a sculptor would in a sculpture. So,
how many? I know you've made, because I have a few things that are not pots, that are clay sculptures.
Like musicians and stuff, and
the musician's still
it's still a pot.
Though.
Yeah.
No, but we have the big hands. That you
Oh
made,
yeah. Those were fun.
You know,
yeah,
and stuff like that's not a jug. Some big you've made over the years. You've made but almost all pots, really.
Pretty much. You know, that's funny. Yeah, those hands and all that stuff is really fun to make. I really enjoy it. It takes a lot of time. And
well, that thing's like 30 pounds of clay or 40 pounds of clay or something.
Oh yeah, you have the big one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a week. that was seriously a week in San Marcos.
Yeah.
And great story. You know, one of my all-time favorite stories. I went to my attorney when I got divorced, and she gave me the bill, and it was, you know, she gave me the bill, and then I had that pot or that big sculpture, and you were like, how much you want for it?
You're like, I know exactly how much I want for it.
Exactly how much. And that's, you paid for my divorce. Thanks, man.
I'm happy to pay for that.
True story too.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
It was great. Yeah. And that's a great piece. That's a really great piece. And that's all sculpted.
But you made that for an event or for a showcase?
When I taught the Big Clay Workshop at the Eye of the Dog Art Center, again in San Marcos. And the Big Clay Workshop was cool. So cool. They don't do it anymore, but it was so fun. Billy Ray and I taught it. Billy Ray Mangan, the world's greatest potter. We taught it. And it was 5 days. You got a gourmet vegan lunch every day, prepared by Billy's wife and friends. And
I'm already in.
Man, dude, it was fantastic. And you could make something that was, the goal was, you had a kiln space of 4 feet by 4 feet by 4 feet. And so that was how big you could make it.
Which is almost bigger than you can really pick up.
Oh, man. Well, we had to do it on a litter.
Like
Egyptian style. We had to move all those sculptures on a litter. And so you got people, most people had experience with clay because there's a lot of architectural stuff that can be a problem. You know, like one woman wanted to make a ballerina on her toe.
Yeah, it's going to fall over.
Yeah,
it's going to break.
Fall, it's going to into a million pieces.
It's going to crack. It's going
to do everything wrong. And so, you help them with that. But after 5 days, they got this great piece. And
but some of the stuff has like an inner wire, right? No,
it can.
Yeah.
Well, but the problem with clay is when clay's fired, it shrinks.
Yeah.
And so if that's not done right, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but that workshop was so fun. And I did those big pieces, and I have 2 or 3 of them at home. You have that one at Heart and Hand, which is another great place to buy my pots.
Heart and Hand Gallery in Deep Ellum. You can buy Carl Block jugs.
Or in Waxahachie.
Yeah. Heart and Hand in Waxahachie. You can buy Carl Block
Brought to
jugs.
you by, anyway.
You could own a Carl Black jug today.
Today. Yeah, they're open until 5, right? 6?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. If Tommy's probably just unlocked the door.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? Anyway, that workshop was so fun. And that's where I made that giant hand. And so that really was, that was a 40 hours.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's fun. So fun. I do miss doing that. On one hand, on the other hand, I don't miss doing it because how the public is.
So the amount of clay in a piece, does that determine the amount of time it needs to be in the kiln? Or does it all need to be in there the same amount of time?
Well, if a bigger piece needs to go up slower, but once you hit a certain point,
it's done.
You can go.
You let it cool down.
You can raise the heat. I mean, it's like you want to go slow. If the pieces are small, like the dinky jugs, you can go pretty hot, pretty fast. But if a piece is big, you want to go slow. And so it's usually with my work, all of these guys, this size, dinky jugs, everybody, it's like 12 hours up, 12 hours down. And the cool thing about clay is you go up and you hit that temperature to where it vitrifies.
What temperature are we talking about?
On mine, it's like 1987 is when it's all done.
Yeah.
It's pretty warm. And
pretty warm.
Pretty warm. And that's when all the crystals grow and,
It's
and the
damn
clay.
near 2,000 degrees.
Yeah,
Right? Yeah.
and the clay goes from clay to ceramic.
Yeah.
And all the magic happens and the glaze melts, but it doesn't melt too much,
Yeah.
So it's quite a thing.
What in the Duck podcast is proud to be sponsored by Legacy Ink, the finest in tattoo pigments. I've been using this ink exclusively for over 20 years myself. It has been recently rebranded and marketed, but it has been the same recipe for decades. Real, hand-mixed tattoo pigments that heal great and last. People always comment on the yellow that I use and the yellow tattooed on me, my favorite, the Mayan yellow. I have seen countless 20-plus-year-old tattoos with the colors still vivid. Don't duck around with all these newfangled companies with their watered-down baloney. Get the tried, true, and tested good shit. You can find them on Instagram at Legacy Pigments or email Ashley today to place an order at legacyartsupplies@gmail.com. Tell them Oliver sent you and receive a special discount. Don't just do tattoos. Be part of a legacy. Well, is there a point if it got too hot, would it just liquefy?
Oh, dude, let me tell you.
You open a kiln, it's all brrr.
Yeah, it's lava.
Okay.
It's lava in the bottom of the kiln.
So it has a sweet spot.
It's got a sweet spot, and
Yeah.
every clay is different. That's why, you've got low fire, which is what mine is. This is basically flower pot clay. I love flower pot clay. And it's like low fire earthenware, and then you go to mid-range, and then you go to stoneware, and then you go to porcelain, and after porcelain comes glass.
Yeah.
And all of that is temperature ratings.
Yeah. So porcelain is very different.
Porcelain is very different. It's got to be very hot.
You ever done it?
Yeah, I've done porcelain. It's like throwing toothpaste. Yeah. But there's tricks. You can make it more usable. Yeah, I've done it. Yeah. It's real. It can be finicky. And everything, it's like tattooing. Everything's got its not just its sweet spot, but its appreciation level. So if you're throwing porcelain, you want it to be translucent. So it's like I can hold my tea bowl up to the light.
Oh yeah.
And you can see the light through it. And I don't throw it like that. Mine's built to last, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, porcelain is a fragile thing.
Porcelain is a fragile thing. Yeah. Yeah. And
these clay pots they're pretty sturdy.
They're built to last.
Yeah.
And stoneware is great for dishes. It's really good for dishes because, the glazes get hard. You can use them for a long, long time. I've got stoneware dishes I've had for 35 years that we eat off of every day. So, yeah, it's a good thing.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, a lot to know. There's a ton to know. It's like your art. There's a ton to know, and it's amazing what I know without thinking about it. Just again from longevity.
So you started with clay in college,
Right?
And then you taught in high school for 29 fucking years,
Right. I couldn't go 30.
Did you?
I was gonna kill somebody. A teacher. I was gonna kill a teacher.
Were you doing clay work in the high school?
Oh yeah, always. That's another thing too.
Okay, go ahead. Finish.
Well, my mantra was I want to make a cool place for kids to hide.
Yeah.
Okay, where they can be creative. Number two, I want to show kids that this is a viable way to make a living being an artist, because you and I both grew up. You can't make any money making art.
Yeah. You're not going to make money doodling. You got to find a sellable item.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to show kids that it was a marketable thing. So I would go to Clay Fest and we would do all these trades. I would get, new bowls or new whatever from other potters, and they'd get my pots, and I would drive home that night. And Monday morning, all of my classes all through the day would meet out at my truck, and we'd dig through the boxes of anything I had left over or anything I traded. And we just pass it around, and the kids were like freaking out. Can I really hold this? It's like, yeah, man, you can hold it. And nobody ever dropped anything, but it showed kids that you can make a living being creative.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was important to me. Very important to me.
When I first started tattooing, my grandparents on one side, did not believe that it was a job.
What year was that? Do you remember?
92.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're like, so what do you got a job?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. What are you doing? Tattooing. but what are you doing? My grandfather was like, so you're tattooing? I said, yeah. He goes, but what are you doing for money?
Right.
I'm like, tattooing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but how are you paying the bills?
Right.
Tattooing. Yeah, but how'd you buy that car? I'm like,
Yeah.
tattooing. He's like, so you're telling me people pay you for this?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they do.
Yeah. I mean,
He just didn't understand. Like in his mind, in World War II, people got a tattoo for $2.
right.
And nobody's buying a Cadillac doing tats for $2.
No, they weren't. But they were living the lifestyle they wanted. And, you know.
$2 was a lot different in 1948.
It was like, 20 loaves of bread? So, yeah. No, it's the same thing. And, I was told, I'm not going to pay for somebody to go to college to be a potter.
Yeah.
And I get it. So, okay, that's fine. But it worked out. Everything's worked out. But I think it's nose to the grindstone. And I don't know. And you got to have a talent. You have a talent. I have a talent. We're lucky. We have a talent. We've developed. We know our gifts. Everybody's got gifts. I couldn't play for the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
It's not my gift. But I can make pots.
But you can play the guitar.
But I can play the guitar. But I mean, we farmed our gifts.
Yeah.
We went where our strengths are, and that's what people need to do.
So in the high school art class, what all did you teach?
Man, I taught it all. For 10 years, I was the only art teacher.
But was it like, were you teaching people what they wanted to learn, or did you have a curriculum like, we're going to paint,
I started out grinding them.
Yeah.
And the first every year was always learning how to draw.
Yeah.
And so I teach them how to draw, how to see, like I was talking about negative space,
Yeah.
and positive space, all this stuff. I teach them how to draw, and that was selling the program and selling me. And so they realized this guy's serious about this, number one. Number two, I can see improvement in my drawing. So I'm really learning something here.
Yeah.
Where you don't in a lot of classes. So that would prove it to them that they could learn this stuff. And then I would have them. I'd hook them.
Yeah.
And they could sit with the good looking girl in class and talk to her all class long. As long as I wasn't talking, I didn't care.
Yeah.
As long as you're doing your work. And so it was, I'd do that. I'd teach them to draw. And then we go into, after we did a little art history stuff. We did a little painting. And this is art one. And along with art one, I had clay classes, and then I had painting class. And then I had,
so people could choose specifically to take a clay class
after art one.
Yeah, that's cool.
You had to jump that hurdle.
Very cool.
Yeah. So we could have a conversation in the clay class or the painting class that they would understand when I'm saying contrast. They would know what that is.
Yeah.
You had to get that groundwork in. And so I made them jump that hoop, and then they could take the other classes. But it was nice too, because there was no curriculum.
Yeah.
I could come up with my own curriculum.
Very cool.
Yeah, it was fun. I had a good time.
And you, I mean, I'm guessing you would treat students with their capabilities.
Yes.
To a certain point.
Yes.
Like once higher the level goes. Well, I was very lucky in high school. I took art class obviously every semester.
Sure.
And I had some great art teachers, and I drew a lot, painted a lot. And after the first semester of art class, the second semester, the art teacher was just like, well, here's what everybody's going to do.
Yeah.
What do you want to do?
Right.
There was me and one other guy in art class together. Like, what do you guys want to do? This semester, what do you guys want to do? And we'd be like, we want to learn oils.
Yeah.
Because we never fucked with oils. Because our family, I couldn't afford to buy oil paints as a kid, So it's like,
oil paints were a big deal.
Yeah. And I was like, and learning, how to do it. And just learning what to do, and learning how to layer, and learning how to let it dry, and learning how to glaze it and all this stuff. It was, that was cool. And then the next semester was like, what do you guys want to learn? And we're just like,
that's a good teacher.
We want to do this. And then it's like, we'd go into class, and there'd be like the group of people, because it was like, you'd be in there. I don't remember it being separated out like art 2, art 3, art 4, or whatever. I just remember being in the room, and it'd be like all the kids that were the first year were over here doing their thing. Right. Drawing a Perry on a plate. Right. And then we'd be over here.
Cow skull.
Drawing whatever, you know.
Yeah.
And I was just like, man, I want to do some sort of like linoleum print. And she's like, oh man, nobody's done that in years here. So got all the supplies, started carving linoleum, making block prints.
That's awesome. Now you own a print shop.
And then I was like, what about screen printing?
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, well, we can't really do like really press printing here, but I can teach you the simple process of just a single screen and putting the emulsion on the screen and letting it dry in the sun. No darkroom stuff.
Right.
And then cleaning it and then just squeegeeing ink onto a piece of paper through a screen. And once I did that, I was like, seal screening.
Yeah.
So after high school, me and my buddy, you know, a couple buddies that lived together, we just built our own silk screen shit in the garage and started silk screening t-shirts.
Sure.
And I was
that's
like, I learned this shit in high school, and now I'm printing shirts in my garage.
Well,
I own a print shop.
it's fabulous. You know, I taught silk screening, and we did the same thing. We used acrylic paint on the screen. You know, they do the printing and all that. But the big thing was a lot of them were like afraid to use a staple gun to attach the
stretch the screen on the board.
Stretch the screen on the and I'd make the kids, you know, use a miter box, and they'd cut the frame, and then they'd use a staple gun, and you know they got to use all those tools, and it was a lot of fun. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Yeah, I loved it. I really did enjoy teaching. And
well, where did you learn screen printing?
I had it in college. I had a printmaking class in college. I had a really good printmaking teacher in college. He was a great guy, and he had taught high school for like 30 years, and then he picked up a gig at North Texas, and man, he was one of the best teachers I ever had. And when I took him the semester I was going to student teach, and he said, so what other classes do you have? And I said, well, I got student teaching. He goes, I won't see you all year. He's like, he said, I'll tell you what, I'll make you a deal. You come back when you're done student teaching, and then your mind will be right to do this, to learn all these techniques. And I learned the engraving. I learned
like acid etch stuff,
all that stuff, man.
Yeah,
and it was super cool, and I loved it. And he was right. I didn't have time for it. I student taught junior high, which I hated. And
how did that? So you're in college, and you're student teaching,
junior high.
Is that like substitute teaching, or is that just like assistant teaching?
It's well, in theory. In theory, you're with the master teacher, and you're learning how to run a classroom.
But they just left you alone.
Oh, man, she's gone. She's smoking ciggies.
I got a student teacher. I'm out of here.
Yeah, I'm out of here. Yeah, don't look for me. Yeah, so honestly, that's the way it went. And she was terrible. And the kids, every day was like a birthday party. You got one kid crying. You know, got this giant kid. You know, it's like 17 years old with a beard, sitting next to this little kid, doesn't have a hair on him yet. You know, I mean, it's wild. Junior high is wild. And I was like, man, I might have chose the wrong path. But I knew it wasn't going to be junior high. But man, I love the high school kids, because you could have a conversation with them. They're looking to hide, you know, in the art room.
Yeah.
They're kids like me and you.
But was this art class that you were student teaching?
Yes.
Okay.
It was terrible. Yeah, it was in Denton. It was at Calhoun Junior High.
All right.
In Denton, Texas. Beautiful Denton, Texas. Yeah. But it was a lesson learned, you know, and it was wild. It was really wild. But it was, you know, that's the other thing about teaching. You got to find your age group. You know?
What you relate to.
Yeah. I think where your maturity level
I would have a hard time with junior high kids, for sure.
Oh, man, they're the worst.
Sure.
They're the worst. It was the worst time in my life. It's probably the worst time in your life, too.
I mean,
it's terrible.
I just remember dreading school every single morning.
Every day. Yeah.
Anything I could do to get out of school.
It's like going to the guillotine.
Anything I could do to get out of school.
I know, man. Oh, man. I had so many fake fevers, and I don't feel good. And I just didn't want to go.
And I would just draw all day in every class.
There you go.
And teachers would take my drawings away from me and throw them away and crumple them up. And I would just be so mad.
There was something about junior high, and it's probably not the same now. It seems like schools are kinder to kids now than they were. But I mean, it was like, man, they would write you off. Those teachers would write you off. That assistant basketball, 7th grade assistant basketball coach that I had for math, dude, first day is like, you're getting nothing from me, you know? And I mean, he just wrote me off. And so I'm just sitting there. Yeah. So what are you going to do? You draw to save your life.
I did feel pretty lucky to be in high school still during that time when they would just be like, have no hope in you.
Right.
And so they would just like, I just got C's and D's and I just slid through. I barely went to school.
Right.
I barely did any work.
Yeah.
And they weren't like, they didn't expect me to do better.
No.
And they're like, oh, whatever. I had a few teachers that would like, I had an English teacher in high school that was like, you're not going to need any of this. You're going to be an artist.
Those are great.
Blah, blah, blah. He was a great guy.
Those are great teachers.
But my senior year, I graduated in 89, was the year that they instituted the no pass, no play in Texas.
Right.
Where you couldn't play sports if you didn't make passing grades.
Right.
And they enforced, because prior to that, you were football team, you didn't really do anything. You just played football.
Right,
But the problem is people were getting to college and didn't know how to read and write.
Right.
So like, we can't do this anymore.
Right.
But I wasn't in sports, but it affected me because now they're like locking down. Like, you can't miss school anymore. If you miss so many days,
attendance,
you're not going to graduate. I was like, what do you mean? I was skipping 3-4 days a week.
I know.
And
they're glad to see you gone.
Yeah.
But
and
not anymore.
Yeah. Then they started like, we can't let these kids graduate if they're not here and they don't do their work. And I was like, damn it. So I made it all the way to the 12th grade before they cracked down on me. But
that screwed just about a quarter of a turn.
Yeah.
All through time. I mean, it's tougher now. The kids have to know so much more now than what we had to know. I mean, I don't know how they do it.
I never even had a typewriter in school.
Well,
much less a computer.
Yeah. Right. I know. I didn't take any typing classes. No. But you're asking, would I teach at the level of the kid? And I did kind of what your teacher did when I taught painting. And painting's difficult because there's a lot of concepts in painting. And I would always give them a title because the number one thing, and this, I don't know what I want. I don't know what I want to paint. And so I would always give them a title. And then I would say, in parentheses, or whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
So it gave them. So
if you do have an idea.
So the kids that were thinking.
If you don't have an idea.
The kids that didn't have a capacity of imagination or were afraid to have imagination, hadn't had any practice in imagination, they would have something served on a plate where the other kids were like, I got this cool idea, and they would paint that. And so it's good. You give them that leeway. You got to do that. I think that's a good teacher.
Yeah.
Because you see that kid, like you as a young man, this kid is really into art. I can cut him loose and I can let him do what he wants to do because it's going to profit him. It's going to profit me. It's going to profit the whole class because the whole class sees, dude, see that crazy shit Oliver did?
Well, and
it's infectious.
Yeah. The time that we did the linoleum block print stuff, first, it was just me and Ralph did it, and then all the other kids were like, wow. And I'm like, dude, it's really easy, really.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to make something perfect, but it's easy to do it.
Sure.
It's not a difficult thing. Anybody could do it. You can write your name. You could do a flower. You could do whatever, or you could get crazy or whatever.
Right.
And so then we did everybody got to do it. And it was like, I mean, it's also a super cheap, easy thing to do. Just carve that linoleum.
Yeah. Yeah. And you learn not to carve towards your hand.
Yes.
That's a good lesson.
Yeah.
That's a good lesson to learn not to cut towards your hand.
Well, I learned that as a kid whittling, from my grandfather and my father.
Yeah. There you
Definitely stabbed myself in the hand many times as a kid.
That's the way it goes.
Yeah.
That's the way you learn not to do it. You got to do it first. You got to learn the hard ways. Yeah. Well, good for you. That's, I'm glad you had that teacher.
It gave, if without that class and without those things, I wouldn't have had the mindset that I could do art for a living.
Wow.
That was like, I was like, I'm going to be an artist.
Yeah.
When a lot of people would tell you like, that's not a job.
Yeah.
And I knew a little bit about history and I knew a little bit about, there was a time when artists were, if you had artistic ability, you were guaranteed to have a job doing it.
Sure.
You know, in the early days of magazines and printmaking and newspapers, anybody that could do any kind of art at all was sought after to be able to put the stuff in the, you know, and drawing arts for, you know, all the old advertisements from the turn of the century were all actually paintings.
Yeah.
You know, and even through the mid-century when all the car ads are paintings.
Yeah.
And they're super cool.
They're beautiful.
And then it just became a time where nobody cared about the art anymore. And it was just a photo of something.
Right.
You know, and it just.
Well, it saved Chrysler money.
Yeah.
You know, so they could just put a photo of that.
I mean, I collect all these old, like 50s and 60s and 70s, like Oldsmobile brochures and stuff. And like you look through all the cars, they're not photos. They're all paintings.
That's cool.
It's killer.
Yeah. I like stuff like that. Yeah, I love those things. That's a beautiful thing. Yeah, that's a beautiful thing. Good for you.
Art is, I feel like art has made a huge turnaround. Now there's so many people that know that they could be an artist.
Well, and you know what? We're seeing it in the clay community. There was a time, and I don't know if this reflects in the tattoo world, but there was a time when there weren't a lot of young people you were seeing trying to get into shows, showing their work, doing their work. And I think it was after the cusp of games, video games and all that stuff. And a lot of the schools figured out it was easier to put in a computer lab. It wasn't near as dirty as a ceramics lab. And so that was a lot easier. And you weren't having to pay for gas, firing kilns and all that kind of jazz. Well, long story short, we're seeing now really, really, really strong kids coming up in clay.
Making things.
Oh, man, making great stuff. I mean, some of the best stuff I've seen in decades are being made by young people. And, you know, I'm a firm believer in young people. Hopefully the world is getting smarter and better and kinder and all of those things. And I think it is at a personal level. I don't think it is at a macro level. I think it is at a micro level. And these kids, man, I mean, I think there's one or two going to be at Oddfest that are just dynamite, and they're making cool stuff, and it's weird and it's great. And they're on their own path, and they're in their 20s.
That's cool.
It is fabulous. I mean, I couldn't ask for anything more. And it's really the way you want to see it go. You want those things to continue. I never thought it was going to die out, but I wasn't seeing a lot of really cool stuff that was grabbing me. And I think what it is too is we've broken the cycle of the name. I mean, there's still a few names. I mean, but you've broken the cycle of the Warhols, the Picassos, the Alexander Calders. You've broken those big names in the art world to where it's like it's okay for other people to make art. It doesn't have to be Picasso. Not just Picasso can make art. You're probably seeing that in tattooing.
Oh man. I mean, it's the floodgates opened up.
I love it.
Yeah.
As it should be. The more the merrier is my philosophy. You know, to me, it's not competition. It's reassurance. I like it. I like it a lot. And, you know, it's more people I can talk to about stuff like this and more people I can relate to.
Well, the same thing that I said earlier, I say to young tattooers, it's like a lot of people, unfortunately, started tattooing over the last decade because they saw it to be quick and easy and lucrative.
Oh. Huh.
And then, you know, economies fluctuate. Times go up and down.
Yeah.
It became very hard to make a living doing tattoos the last 5 years.
Really? No kidding.
And, you know, you can't just, nobody cares to collect a tattoo from you if you've only been doing it a few years.
Yeah.
There are people who just walk in a tattoo shop and just want to get whatever from whoever's there.
Yeah.
But longevity is the name of the game.
Is that a rare thing now that people are just coming in and they'll take whatever from somebody?
It's down right now.
Yeah.
But the people that want to get something specific and they Greg Christian's been doing a thing for a long time. People want a Greg Christian tattoo.
Yeah.
People want a tattoo from so-and-so, from so-and-so, from so-and-so.
Right.
So the problem we're seeing now is that some young tattooers are stop tattooing.
Yeah.
Because they don't, I'm like, man, you got to do it.
Yeah.
You got to do it for a long time. You got to build that name. You got to build that longevity. You got to make it matter.
But if they can't ride that wave, I mean, if they get off, I had a sculpture teacher in college, and he was hardly ever there. And he and I, it was locked horns because he was hardly ever there, and I was paying money. I wanted to be there. He was building pools. He was building swimming pools all over Denton.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, but I mean, and I'm fine with somebody building pools.
Yeah.
But don't sign me up for your sculpture class, or you're going to be gone building pools. And so, I mean, really. And so, it's kind of like, if those guys drop out, they need to drop out.
Yeah.
They don't have that innate desire to do what has to be done.
Yeah.
You have to do that.
That's the thing. It's like my generation, well, I mean, the people that I know that started tattooing around the same time as me, and they've been tattooing as long as me, we did not start tattooing just to make money.
Right.
We started tattooing because we wanted, this is the art that we loved.
Yeah.
And then you make the money, and that's good. But it's
the bonus.
But if it don't make the money, are you still going to do it? Are you still going to make it work? Are you still going to push through? Are you still going to stick with it? And I think that's, there's got to be that, the forest fire's got to clear the rubbish every once in a while.
I agree with that. And, I've seen a lot of potters drop out. They don't make pots anymore. And,
difference between a hobbyist and a lifer.
That's probably it. And difference between infected and non-infected. I'm infected with this process, and I enjoy the process. And to me, every step of the process, including packing them up and taking them to a gallery, every step of that process is an infection that I have, and I like it and I enjoy it. And like you, like my clay community, I enjoy the interaction with all of my clay community. If I'm not making pots, I lose that interaction. Yeah. Not that they would be like, don't talk to me anymore. They're not making pots.
But you won't be at the event. You won't be at the Texas Clay Festival.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's also a family thing. You have a family, and I know your family, and some of our people overlap, like Greg and those guys and the Bells in Kentucky. They overlap in our friendships, and it's like, those are family, man. And I mean, I don't go out to the shop and say, well, I can't quit doing this because then I won't see people at Texas Clay Festival.
Yeah.
It's in my blood. It's just there. It's who I am. It's a big part of who I am. And I gave up teaching like snap. That wasn't a problem because I went into teaching with the purpose.
Yeah.
This is more than a purpose. Making art to me is more personally, it's more than a purpose. It's who I am.
I mean, I would say you didn't really give up. I mean, you did quit teaching, but you did how you get 29 years.
29 years.
That's
29 years, but I know a lot.
That's a full length career.
It's the full Monty, but I know a lot of people, man, they're going down the hall in a wheelchair because they can't quit teaching. Those guys are blood teachers. I never really felt like I was a blood teacher. I always felt like I was in the blood artist that was teaching, that I'm an in the blood artist, and you can be one too if you want to, and it's okay. Don't listen to what your parents say. And I will deny it in court if you tell them I said that. But man, you got to follow your own path.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to find your own way. Yeah, you've done it. I've done it. We know 100 people that have done it. They found their own way, and it can be done.
I mean, thanks to people like you who open up the gate and let people go to that path, let people know there is a path there in the first place.
Well, and let me say another thing too. A lot of it is you have to dissolve your own ego. And that's something I work on every day. And I think it's something I've always appreciated about you. You don't have a giant ego. You do a lot of cool shit, but you're not like, I'm Oliver Peck. Excuse me, get out of my way.
I never understood that.
Well, but you know more people than I do.
When I see people act that way, I don't get it.
Well, because they're not wanting others to find their own path. They're just like, I found my path, get out of my way. Instead, you kindness and compassion are the two things that we all need to exercise and we need to teach. Is everybody's suffering, so you got to have compassion for everybody. You do that. You're a good person, and you have to be kind, and you want everybody to have a good day.
Yeah.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't. And so that's what you have to dissolve your ego to let other people grow, because otherwise you're just like a fence.
I guess I just learned, my grandmother was the sweetest woman in the world, my mom's mother. And I just learned that it's a lot happier to be around happy people.
Yeah. It's
you
fun.
know what I mean? It's a lot more fun to be around fun people. It's a lot, it's a better time to be around people that are having a good time.
I agree with
and
that.
so if you're not a part of making something fun, then you're part of the problem.
Right. I agree with that. I mean, she taught you a good lesson there.
And you don't want to hang around with people that are bummed, right? Then you're bummed. So why wouldn't you do whatever you can to make other people not bummed?
I don't know, man. I think that's just your nature and my nature.
It just seems natural.
Well, I agree. And it comes natural to me and it comes natural to you. I think the flip side of that coin comes natural to other people. So I don't know. But I don't know. I want everybody to grow. I want everybody to have a good day. I want everybody to prosper. I want everybody to find their own path. I want everybody to, and I don't care if it is digging swimming pools, rock on.
Yeah.
You know,
somebody's got to make a swimming pool.
So, I mean, they're nice. I like swimming pools. It's hot. It's a good time for swimming pools.
Somebody's got to do it.
I know. Somebody's got to do it. But, you know, it doesn't have to be my sculpture teacher.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, sometimes people do need to make a living.
Right.
Now, is he not making enough living?
Right.
He's got himself in a situation where he needs more money than he has.
Right.
And so he's got to make some pools.
I get it. It. And, you know, that gets into the whole thing that you see in tattooing and I see in clay, which is, I'll give you a little story. I tell somebody, this kid needs to be in a show. It'll really help them a lot. They've been working a lot. Their stuff's pretty cool. They're like, they're just not ready yet. What is that? What is not ready yet? Let's let the public decide with the folding money if this person is ready or not. Yeah. And I mean, I say that every time. And I say that at Oddfest. You know, when I was helping bring in vendors to Oddfest, it's like, let's let them try. Let's let the public decide if they're ready or not. I'm not going to sit here and decide. We'll let the public decide.
But some people see that folding money that gets spent on them as less money gets spent on me.
Well, maybe that's true. But, you know, if the kid is great, rock on.
Yeah.
If the kid is not great, I think the public's got a pretty good eye for the most part. I mean, sometimes they'll buy something if it's really cheap and it's terrible just because they want to buy something. But, you know, I think it's kind of what you said. You're seeing a lot of people drop out the past 5 years of tattooing. They're going to save their money and get something from you because you're a name, you know, and they're going to buy a pot from me because I'm a name. But, you know, those other guys, maybe they're not ready yet. We'll let the public decide. It's not for me to decide. Yeah. I don't want to be judgy on young artists. Get out there.
Yeah.
And how the hell are you going to learn if you're not out there anyway? You know, you've probably seen young guys come into your shop and you're just like, whoa, not ready. You know, I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you see them fade away, but it's like they tried, you know, and the public told them, not ready yet, dude. I'm not saying quit, but you're not ripe enough for this group yet.
Yeah.
And you'll get there if you keep at it. Longevity, you know. But another thing too, tell me if you think this theory is wrong. Sometimes the artist is way ahead of the curve and it takes the public a while to catch up.
Oh, that happens a lot.
A lot.
Happens a lot in music. Happens a lot in...
Right.
Yeah.
Right. The public has to catch up.
Well, I grew up on the mentality that no artist is famous till they're dead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That whole idea
Right. And they all starve too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
And made all this art, died penniless. Now the art's worth millions of dollars.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of the mentality that people would tell me, like, oh, you're going to be an artist. You're just going to starve to death and let somebody else get rich after you're dead. And I was like, nah. I mean, I think you just do what you love. That's it.
Dude, we found our way. We found our way. We found our tribes. We found our families. We found people we love. We found people that love us. We're lucky guys, but we stuck with it.
Yeah.
If we'd have jumped off ship every 5 years into something else, it wouldn't be like that.
And I just love that you've made these things.
Yeah, me too.
For so long, and that they just they do have a spirit of their own.
Well,
and they have this personality to them that's like, sure, someone else can make a face jug, but it's not. It may be great, but it's going to be different. Even and just I love the evolution of these things, and I love seeing the next batch. And the next batch.
Me too.
And the next batch.
Me too, man. Every day's like Christmas when I open that can.
Oh, man.
It is. I mean, I'm still excited. I went out the other day, 2 days ago, and unloaded a kiln. And it's like, oh. And I mean, it was, my wife was just like, well, how'd they come out? I said, there's an eyeball jug in there that we may have to keep for a while and just kind of watch it for a while, and it's in the house.
I love it.
And I mean, I still fall in love with the work. The deal is when I'm throwing these things and I'm sculpting these things, I let the clay dictate the form. And by the form, I mean the shape of the jug.
Yeah.
And then I also, it's like Keith Richards said, all the songs are out there. I'm just an antenna. I really do feel like I'm an antenna.
Yeah.
And it's like, I let the jug make itself, and I try not to be contrived. I don't think, oh, this one's going to look like this or this is going to look like that. I just let it flow. And I've never been disappointed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So going back a step, you throw the pots.
I throw the pot
into a jug shape.
Into a jug.
And you do all the jug shapes. And then you go back and sculpt.
Yes.
Add the sculpting to them.
Yes.
So when you're throwing the pot itself, you're not thinking this one's going to have 6 eyes.
No.
This one's going to have horns. This one's going to have this.
I'm throwing the pot.
That's what I'm saying. And then it just kind of comes alive.
And I feel that clay, and some pots are shorter and some pots are taller. And clay's coming out of the ground. And so there's going to be parts of that mine where the clay stretches more. There's going to be parts of that mine where it'll go this way, parts of that mine where it'll go this way, parts of that mine it doesn't want to stretch at all, and you just got to fight it. And then there's other days it's just like, man, it's just like poetry. I mean, it's fabulous. And those are rare. But then I go in and I usually set up a design problem, which is kind of what I think Greg's doing with his tattoos. And I really like his new stuff that he's doing. But it's like, I'll set up a design problem. I'll put a nose on there that goes like this. And then that leads to everything else. And I just like work all the elements into where it happens. And there's no preconceived notion about anything. I just let it flow. I'm the antenna. They make themselves.
So when you're throwing the pot, you're not thinking about what's going to be on it. And then when you're sculpting it, you're not thinking about what color it's going to be.
No.
And then it just all comes to life.
Yeah. It's fabulous. It's great. And it's like a true Zen moment. I try to work in that state to where I'm just the hands and it's creating itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun.
Well, I love it when I've got to come over, when we're getting a bunch of jugs for the shop or something. I'll come over. I
love it too.
Come over and you pull them all out and I'm like, kind of got a budget of how, we want this many jugs or I got this much. And I'm like, this one and this one. And then I'll like start putting a pile together, and I'll like grab one and set it next to the others. And then like, maybe take one away and then put one back. And then the last time I was over there, I remember there was one jug that I put in the collection and then out of the collection like 3 or 4 times. Yeah. And finally I was just like, if I even look at that jug again, you're going to keep it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just,
people,
you are standing there and you got, you're like, well, get the one that speaks to you, and all this stuff. And it's these little sayings that you have. You like, I love it. You pick one up and you look at it and then Crawlbot goes, well, that's a nice pot.
Yeah. That's the best pot here.
Oh,
yeah.
That's the best.
That's the best pot here. Yeah.
But you always say that's a nice pot.
Yeah. Well, you got it. And seriously, you do have to pick the one that speaks to you, because I don't make them for me.
Yeah.
I'm making them for everybody else. And that pot was made for somebody and that pot was made for somebody and it spoke to them. It didn't necessarily speak to me.
Yeah.
And so I like to pass them on. I love running into them in the wild. I love it when people send me on Instagram. They'll send me pictures of their pot at home, and I always try to repost them because it's fun seeing that stuff in people's houses. Yeah, it's really a lot of fun.
And it is true. Especially you got to get there early.
You do have to get there
because
early.
when you set up, it's a big array.
Yeah,
and they go quick.
But
if you're there at the beginning, and you see them all together,
it's pretty cool.
Literally one will just yell out at you.
And dude, if you do not buy that pot, you are screwed.
It's gone. Now it's gone forever. One of a kind.
I've got regular people. I mean, I got people come back year after year. Yeah, I should have got that green pot. Yeah, it's like you said, it spoke to me, and now it's gone. And I think about it all the time. It's like, sorry, I mean, you should have got it.
Can't make another one.
Yeah, I mean, can you make any more like that? It's like, you got to buy it when it's here.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no two alike. They're all different. Everybody's different. Yeah, I love that. I love it. I love it. It's so much fun. Yeah.
So the next thing coming up
is
Oddfest.
Oddfest
is the next event.
Yeah, I'll be there.
How many, on general, if you're showing up at at an event, how many jugs do you try to? Is there a number you try to come up with, or you just try to feel out how much?
It's usually like 5 kiln loads, which is roughly anywhere from 80 to 100 pots. And then, of course, I always try to have the dinky machine full.
Yeah.
And so people hit the dinky machine, and so there's usually 50 to 100 in the dinky machine, and then maybe 80 to 100 pots. And the goal is to always sell out.
Yeah.
And so I get pretty close. There's usually 1 or 2 left. Yeah.
Man, if you had to put a guess on it, how many jugs do you think you've cranked out?
I have no idea, dude. How many tattoos have you done?
People ask me that. The reason I ask you that is because people ask me that all the time.
But it's kind of a.
But the point is it's an uncountable number.
It's an uncountable number. Number one, and number two, as Neil Young said when somebody yelled at him from the audience, I have this on the record. It's really great. This guy says, "It all sounds the same," and Neil Young yells back, "It's all one song."
Yeah.
And that's really, it's all one pot.
Yeah.
I'm just making them, and it's all one tattoo.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you couldn't have done this one without this one, and you can't do the next one without those two.
Yeah.
So it's all one pot,
That's a good philosophy.
It's a really good philosophy. It's all one song. Yeah. That's
Very
what it is.
cool.
And that's my answer to people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because numbers.
Yeah, because people are like, man, how many carbolic jugs do you have? And I said, well, I have over 100.
Right.
You know?
And then they say, that's not enough.
And then they'll say, God damn it. And I'm like, well, I'm going to get another one.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm going to get another one.
There you go. Now you got to, and the other question I always get is, how long does it take you to make one of these? How long did it take you to make this pot? And I'm always like, well, I work
45 years.
45 years. I work in batches.
Yeah.
And so it's like 45 years in a week.
Yeah.
Is pretty much what it is. Because I'm on like a 10-day cycle from taking the clay out of the bag to unloading it out of the kiln finished. It's like a 10-day cycle. That's what it is. Depending on the drying and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hundreds and thousands of pounds of clay.
Thousands. I went through my biggest year. I went through like 13 tons in a year.
I don't even know how much that's.
13 tons. This is 5 pounds.
Yeah, 5 pounds.
Yeah. 13 tons.
Well, you could do some math.
I could do some math.
And say how many.
And I went to college, but I still don't want to do any math.
You could do some math and say how many 5-pound pots is 13 tons of clay.
You could do some math. We could get our audience to do that, and they could put it in the comments.
13 tons divided by 5 pounds equals a shitload of jugs.
One exact shitload.
Shitload of jugs.
Yeah.
Do you have any, like with tattooing? I have a lot of aches and pains and soreness and debilitating numbness from in my hands.
Have you had the carpal tunnel thing yet? The surgery?
Yes. I haven't had the surgery. Yeah. I actually got stem cells in my wrist and my elbows.
Wow.
And it's drastically helping.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, it's been pretty incredible. I didn't want to get the surgery.
Yeah. You know, I've heard the surgery.
It's getting better and better.
It's
Now it's a tiny little hole.
It's one of those things that really does work.
Well, my buddy got it a long time ago, and it was a big Y.
Yeah.
Filleted open his whole hand.
Filleted is a bad word.
And
I don't want anything filleted on me.
Months of just recovery and healing.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's the tiniest little hole.
Yeah. Huh. You know,
but 20 years ago, they basically took the entire palm of the skin off of his hand.
I saw Willie Nelson, his first gig after he had it. And man, he said he was playing. And I mean, I've never heard him play like that. And he said that, do you mind if I just play guitar and not go through the regular routine? He said, I haven't played like this in years. He said, just first gig since Carpal, and it works. My friend Billy Ray had it. Billy Ray said it works. So I've heard good things. You're going to ask me if I have any aches and pains.
Yeah.
Yeah. I stand up at my wheel. I have for like the last 10 years because, you know, potters hunch over, and man, that's not good for you.
You have a higher stand?
I stand up the whole time.
I'm saying you raised the
wheel's raised. Yeah. That's a big help. And, I do that. I do different things. You know, the main thing, I know you know all this stuff. The main thing is you got to move your body different. You can't do the same.
Same repetitive motion is what I do and what kills me.
Yeah, you can't do that. Yeah.
Just this forever.
Yeah, stop doing that. Start building pools.
Oh, yeah.
It's I change what I do, and I don't throw a lot of the really big stuff anymore because it is super hard on my wrist. But I'm lucky, you know. One of my goals, like I said, 5 days a week I ride my bicycle.
Yeah.
And I'm really into this preventative medicine thing. I'm eating better. My wife she's a fabulous cook. We eat pretty much vegan the whole time. There's really no meat in the house. And she can do it, and I enjoy it, and I feel better. I take care of my body. I ride my bike. I exercise. I pay attention when I am throwing. Throwing is the hardest part.
Yeah.
Sculpting doesn't bother me.
Because you get this, I mean, that raw block of clay is like, you got to start. The starting seems like getting it to start to move, and
your back.
But you have to put pressure on it. It's not.
Oh man,
it's not cotton candy, man.
No man, I told kids the whole time I taught. I told them it's like, you know, the cool thing about clay is that there's a time you have to be really, I mean, just a beast with the material. You really have to wrestle it, and then on that same piece, you have to be just finesse. My best potters in 29 years of teaching, and I think I had just about every kid, were the female volleyball players, because they understood, female athletes.
Strength and finesse.
And those girls, you know, and I went to every volleyball game, of course, because they were in my class. And, you know, man, they could just slam that ball, and they could move, and they could dive, and they could do that, and they could just touch it over that net. And man, those girls, they were something, and they were all very successful, and they understood what to do with their body to get that material to do it, because there is a time you really have to bear down.
Yeah.
You know, and then
I mean, you're moving around 13 tons of clay, bud.
Yeah, I know. You got to be strong.
How much clay do you buy at a time?
Now I'm just buying I buy like 500 pounds at a time, because it seems to be drying out faster. And so I'm still going through
because it's in the bag, kind of moist, right?
It's in the bag wet. Yeah. I buy it pre-mixed. I don't have a mixer. I buy it pre-mixed, but I do different things to it when I get it home. I wedge 2 different clays together and all this kind of nonsense. But I probably go through, I don't know, 7, maybe 8 tons a year, maybe. I go through a lot of clay.
That's crazy.
I go through a lot of clay. Yeah, but it's the wrist stuff.
Yeah.
Like you. It's the wrist stuff, and the back does your back bother you?
More my neck.
Yeah. The neck is tough. Yeah. Huh. Yeah. My
neck from the neck, my shoulders to my arms, everything.
My dental hygienist started having neck problems, and she's got these crazy glasses
Uh-huh.
that look down. And so when she's cleaning her teeth, she's looking like
What?
They're super cool.
That's wild.
They're WITD.
I haven't seen that.
They're cool.
Is it refractory or is it actually like a video?
No. It's
just like mirrors.
Yeah, it's like, remember when we were kids?
Magnifying mirrors. Yeah.
Remember you could look over the hedge?
Yeah.
You know?
Periscope.
Yeah, same thing, same principle.
Damn, that's cool.
And she's looking down, and she's been using them for a couple of years.
Instead of doing this.
Instead of doing that all day.
Yeah.
And she's just looking straight ahead and standing up straight. But I'm pretty lucky. I still feel very physically strong, and if I start to feel the slightest thing in my back, I stop
and stretch.
And well, I stretch every morning anyway.
I need to stretch more.
I stretch. My back pops every morning, and I'm good the rest of the day.
Yeah.
When that back pops, and
between tattoos, I gotta get up and move and stretch.
You know the $1 million stretch where you lay on your back with your knees up and you do your knees all the way over. Man, that is gold. Do you know that one? Man, it is good. I'm sure it's a yoga thing.
Audra does it.
You do it? Yeah, it's awesome. And that's where my back pops. And so you got to do that stuff, because how are you going to make a living otherwise?
Right. You got to keep moving.
You got to keep moving, man. And the bicycle's great too. 2 wheels are the deal, as you know.
Yeah.
The bicycle's really good for thinking. Because you can get way out there on the bicycle. I'm riding about 15 miles a day.
That's a pretty good that's a good exercise.
Yeah, it's good. It's really good. And, I get it going, and I'm going at a good clip, and we got a nice trail in town that I ride, and I ride through the town and everything. And it's like religion. It ruins my day if I don't pay attention to riding the bike. But it gives me time to think and kind of organize my day and all that kind of stuff. And then the motorcycle's great, because you can think on the motorcycle, and it's just the bicycle for me for thinking is better. The motorcycle for pleasure is better.
I mean, when I ride my motorcycle to work almost every single day,
Yeah.
and it's, even though it's not far, it's still just that moment of the day where I'm just clear.
I know.
And just in the breeze.
In the breeze, man. Yeah.
Like when I'm in the car, it's different. You always turn the radio on. Or,
Right.
Well, I'm on my motorcycle just on the way. It's just silence.
Well, and you pay attention.
Yeah. And you're just present, and you're
Yeah.
alone.
Right.
And it's just very, it's just, even for 10 minutes. It's like I hear people talk about meditation and what meditation gives them. That's what the motorcycle gives me.
I get it 100%. I concur. I agree. I get that on the bike, and I get it on the motorcycle. I put on my long pants and my shoes and socks and a shirt, and went to Aldi this morning on my motorcycle, which isn't a half a mile from my house, but it's the same thing. It's just like everything on the motorcycle is so much better than 4 wheels.
Yeah.
I don't care what the 4 wheels are.
Yeah.
Everything on the motorcycle is better. And I went to Aldi with my day pack, or I went to HEB with my day pack on. I picked up peaches, yogurt. What else did I get? Coffee. The shit we needed for this morning.
Yeah.
And then I came home, and first thing out of my mouth, it was a nice morning to ride the motorcycle.
So good.
I mean, it always is.
Yeah. This year I have, and Deep Ellum is a terrible place to park your car every day. And it's like, the parking meters, you're gonna get a ticket.
Yeah.
You're going to deal with something.
If you can find a spot.
Yeah. It's just a pain in the ass. So I ride my motorcycle so I can park right at the shop. No problem. Every day.
Yeah.
And so this year, it doesn't matter. It's cold. It's raining. It's whatever. It's 10 minutes.
Right.
And I got rain gear.
Right.
So I've been riding my motorcycle to work in the rain all spring. And every day I pull up and people are like, why are you riding your motorcycle? It's raining. I'm like, it's so nice.
Yeah.
I put my rain gear on.
Yeah.
I ride.
Yeah.
I get to work. I take the rain gear off. I'm totally dry. It's like, I got rain gear.
Right.
It's so easy. And it's like, it just.
Don't you think that goes in the same column as the Buddha would say, find your own path?
Yeah.
You found that.
Yeah.
I've found that with the bicycle and the motorcycle, 2 wheels. 2 wheels has been my deal since I was 5 years old.
Same here.
Yeah. And we found our path. And so when you find it, man, okay, I'm open to anything better. I just haven't found it yet. You know?
I rode bicycles and
Yeah.
BMX race and all that stuff when I
Right.
was a kid. But what I tell people is like, and I had dirt bikes and mini bikes when I was a kid too. But
Mhm.
what I say is like, when I was a kid, every second
Mhm.
that I was pedaling my bicycle,
Mhm.
I was dreaming it was a motorcycle.
Oh, you were? I love that.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
so
that's
I
awesome.
just that
Yeah.
was every dream, you know, every time it's like just dreaming I was on a
Wow.
motorcycle.
That's awesome. I love that.
It's my.
So did you go through different motorcycles you were dreaming about?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Dirt bikes and then
Oh yeah.
big bikes and yeah.
I never dreamed of the
Uh-huh.
big old man
Uh-huh.
bagger bike
Yeah.
until the last decade or so.
Yeah.
I was, you know, Forrest Cavaco,
Yeah.
our buddy Forrest, who lives
Yeah.
up in Plymouth, Massachusetts. I was visiting him,
Mhm.
and he had a big
Mhm.
bagger Harley,
Mhm.
and we went to go for a ride. And he let me ride it,
Uh-huh.
and I would have never ridden a bike like that before.
Right.
And then I rode that around up there, came
Wow.
home and bought one,
I like
and
that.
had one ever since.
Well, you wear it well. You look good on
I
it.
mean, I'm just like,
Yeah.
this is the best.
Yeah.
I embraced that younger than most people do.
Mm-hmm.
The old man bike, you know. And then now
Geezer.
I have all these friends that are like getting on that cusp of turning 40 or whatever,
Uh-huh.
and they're like, I don't want to get an old man bike. I was like, dude, the sooner you get an old man bike, the more the better it's gonna be.
Advice from Oliver.
I mean, me and
Yeah.
Audra just rode
Uh-huh.
5,000 miles across country,
I know.
and we did 1,000 miles in a day. And
Mhm.
yes, it was a long day,
Mm-hmm.
but could not have done it on.
How many hours does that take?
We left Dallas at 6 a.m., got
Mhm.
to Columbus, Ohio at midnight,
Dude.
and could not have done that on a different motorcycle.
Colostomy bags.
We were comfortable.
Diapers. Staying diapers the whole way. Man, that's a haul.
It was great.
Yeah.
We
You
got
know,
lucky. Beautiful weather. High of
Yeah.
74 from here to there.
That's perfect.
Beautiful.
That is perfect.
Cloudy. Never rained.
Mm-hmm. You know, the only long trip I've taken, I had that BMW R1200R that was really a great bike. Anyway, I rode it from my house to Guadalupe Mountain National Park.
Oh, yeah.
And man, 9 hours. And it hummed the whole way. It was poetry. I mean, you just can't put words
No.
in how beautiful something like that is. And you get to do it. And it's like, I've hiked all over the United States. That was my deal, was hiking and backpacking. And it's like, man, those are better than anything I have. Those kind of memories.
Yeah.
You know, riding that bike out to Guadalupe National Park, and then I hiked the next morning, went up the peak, came down the peak, went to Carlsbad because my mattress had a blowout. And that's the other thing about motorcycles. It's like, they're just part of the adventure, you know? And went to Carlsbad, bought a new air mattress for the tent, came back, spent the night, did a hike up McKittrick Canyon. It's just fabulous. Two wheels are the deal.
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer. I
Yes.
subscribe. And everything is better, even going to the grocery store. Yeah. It's just better.
It
Life
is.
is better. Life is better. Life is better. Life is better on two wheels, and life is better when you find your path.
Well, I got another clay question for you.
Lay it on me.
Have you ever made anything out of clay that you pulled out of the earth?
Yeah, Doug Clay. Yeah.
So how does that? When do you do that? How did that happen? Where was that at?
I had a student that their family had property on a creek.
Yeah.
And he said, I think there's clay on this creek. And so I went out there and we dug a bucket of it and we made screens. We built screens. And,
Filter all the pebbles out or whatever.
Silt all the pebbles and the leaves and the
Yeah.
sticks and all that out. And then you silt it and you keep doing it more and more and more. And then you get it down to where it's clay. And, you pour it on a table. It's in a liquid state by then. Pour it on a table, let it dry, wedge it up. And we threw it. He and I threw, I don't know, 10 or 15 pieces of this clay. And as it dried, we came back and it was just all a pile of dust because it didn't have what it needed to keep its form after it dried. And so you always have to add stuff.
Yeah.
Like Acme Brick, they have to buy stuff to make brick. It's rarely just one clay out of the ground.
Yeah.
You have to add other things. And so, yeah, I've done it. It's a lot of fun. And people call, tell me all the time, hey, I think I have clay on my property. And, the test is you crumble it in your hand and you put water in your hand or you spit in your hand for a field test. And if you can make a ball, might be good. If you can roll out a coil and turn it without it cracking, you got something good there. So anybody can do it. It's pretty fun. Yeah. And then, you got to go through the whole process of just screening all.
But what do they add? What do you add to it?
It depends on what it needs.
Minerals and stuff?
Yeah, it depends on what it needs. If it's not stretching,
yeah,
it needs something to make it stretch. And there's different clays that you can add to it to make it stretch. Like Red Art from Ohio is really good for stretching. There's some good Texas clay. You guys go out towards Abilene, Ranger. I'd say maybe 2/3 of my clay is Ranger clay from out there. And that's really good stretchy clay. But you'd always have to add something. And also too, adding things changes your melting temperature.
Yeah.
And it changes your vitrification to where the crystals bind and all that kind of good stuff.
So you're saying but you said earlier, you usually blend.
I do.
A couple different clays.
Yeah, I do. I mix, I buy Trinity's, which is here in Dallas. Connor Muldoon owns Trinity. He's a really good guy and he knows his stuff. I buy his clay in a bag in 25-pound blocks. And then I buy a Red Art clay from Craig in Austin at Armadillo. And I go 2/3 Trinity and 1/3 Armadillo. And sometimes I add extra Red Art and I wedge it in. And it makes it perfect because...
And that makes it kind of like the baking aspect because you got to fold it in and...
You got to wedge it, yeah.
Knead it together. And...
That one clay likes to do this. Another clay likes to do this. And I need it to do both. And so when I mix those two together and add whatever else that clay feels like it needs, every bag is different.
Yeah.
Every bag is different, and so, and like I said, it's coming out of different parts of the mine.
Yeah.
And so you got
some you have to keep more wet and others are.
Yeah. And some are very willing to do whatever you want on the wheel. And some are just like, it ain't happening.
Is it a point where can it dry out too much where you can't reconstitute it with water, or can you always just reconstitute it with water?
As long as you don't fire it.
Oh, okay. So it could end up drying. You could just
put it in
soak it and
put it in a bucket of water,
remix it,
bust it up into pieces, and put it in a bucket of water,
and it'll turn back into mush.
Yeah, man, turns back into a usable material.
Wow.
But, yeah, it's super cool. Yeah, but if you fire it, it's over. It's no longer clay.
Yeah,
now it's
crystallizes.
It's ceramic. And it doesn't reconstitute.
Do you know when in history did they come up with the firing aspect of
You're going to love the story.
I do.
Yeah. Okay. So here's the theory.
Okay.
All right. So
hypothesis.
And this is what I always told my students.
Yeah.
And it would get their imagination going. So you're sitting around a campfire, you and the rest of your clan, and you've learned that if you don't put the fire out, it could spread and it could run off the wildlife. So you're going to have to follow the gazelles further. It's going to ruin your day. You're going to have 5 days of walking instead of an hour.
Yeah.
Okay. So they've learned to put the fire out. Well, somebody in the tribe poured the water on the fire and the water didn't sink in the ground. It stayed there. And so that bed was built on clay and it fired. That fire fired it enough that it would hold water. And so the smart guy in the tribe
said, hey,
popped up a plate of that and dug some of that stuff underneath
and did it again and did it again
and did this, and he, it made a coil like I was telling you. And, he's like, wow. And he handed it to the dumb guy in the tribe who ate it and it didn't do anything for him. but he rolled that coil out and then they put it on the edge of the fire. They probably threw it in the fire first the next fire, and it blew up. And so they learned that thermal shock is your enemy in ceramics. That's why you have to go up slow with heat, come down slow with heat. Because if you put that pot in an oven that's hot, it's going to break.
Yeah.
But if you put it in a cold oven and go up, it'll take it.
But it has to cool down slowly too.
It's got to cool down.
If it cools
slowly
fast,
it'll bust.
it'll shatter. Yeah.
It'll crack. And so they figured that out.
Over
and so then
many years.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who knows? And so that led to storage vessels. And once you had storage vessels, you didn't really have to chase the herds as much, and you could save seeds. And that led to agriculture. So ceramics led to agriculture. And I mean, it was hunter-gatherer until they figured that out. And then after they figured out you could coil it, oh man, it was over.
Yeah.
Then you had cities. Yeah. And from cities came the internet. So, I mean, it really is a huge leap. You know, before that they were carrying stuff around in bladders, and that didn't taste good.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were putting water in bladders, and they're like, man, this bladder water sucks. And then you got clay, and it's like, it's not too bad.
Yeah.
So it's a lot better.
Man, very cool.
Yeah. I love that piece of history. And, the clay that is out in Ranger formed before all the continents split apart. Okay. And so that is old clay. And it's basically old mountains. That's what it is.
Melted down.
And so when they take that front end loader, and they pop up those giant plates and it falls over, there's giant leaf patterns of the oil of the leaf that was there. Yeah, I mean, just prehistoric. It's really cool.
Wild.
I know. Isn't that wild?
Fucking wild. And now we got them with faces on them.
I know. So one step in tradition, one step moving forward.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got it made.
Very cool.
Yeah. Yeah. It's good stuff.
Interesting.
Yeah, it is good. It's good stuff. And it's good stuff to know. And it's like history that, I don't know, it makes your day better knowing that kind of crazy stuff, and how it is important, and those kids, I'd tell them that day one, and we'd roll out coils on the table. I'm like, you're doing the same thing that they did, and some smart guy in every tribe was like, whoa, let's don't chase them today. Let's make pots. And they sat around and made pots, and in most cultures, it was the women that made the pots because the men were out hunting.
Mm-hmm.
And so the women stayed, and that's why there's, tons of famous, women potters even now. They're just super great, famous potters. And, but, none of that stuff was signed either because it was a communal act.
Yes.
Yeah. So maybe like in Japan, in Japan, when I went to Japan, and I mean, I knew this before, but you could see it in action. A whole village makes the pots. So unlike you, people come to get an Audra Peck tattoo. People come to buy a Carl Black pot. It's a whole village, and so nothing is signed because there's one guy there's 8 guys that dig the clay, and they bring it down the hill. Then there's 4 guys that process the clay to where you can use it, and then there's 9 guys that throw the clay, and then and when I say guys, I mean guys and girls.
Yeah.
And so and then it goes from throwing the clay to there's the 4 people that are really good at handles. And then there's like the 3 people that are really good at drawing bamboo leaves, and then there's like the kiln fires that travel around from village to village that have built all these kilns. I think there's 13 famous kilns. I could be wrong, but there's all these famous kiln sites, and these people go village to village and they fire those kilns. And so when you buy a pot from one of the historic kilns in Japan, it's hardly ever signed.
Yeah.
Because the whole village made it. Yeah.
Very cool.
Isn't that cool? Don't you love that?
Yeah.
But you've been to Japan.
I have.
And it's a collective. It's like a beehive.
Oh, yeah.
Where here it's individuals. And so when I went to Japan as the famous American potter, I got to visit all these potters and everything. They were just like, what's it like to make your own stuff? They're stuck. If they live in Mashiko, they have to make Mashiko pots.
Yeah.
They're not allowed to be individuals.
Whoa.
It's a collective. So it's got double-edged sword.
So at any of these festivals, do you do stuff like that? Where it's a collective? You collectively make a batch or something? Or
We don't make a batch, but we would, 4 or 5 of us.
Yeah.
Somebody will throw something and, they'll want me to sculpt it and that kind of stuff.
Because that seems like that would be a fun weekend.
It is. Yeah. It's a good time. Yeah. There's several floating around that people have that are communal pieces. It's just, man, it's hard to get everybody together. It's next
to cooperate.
Well, yeah, to cooperate. And it's also too, it's and this is where I'm envious of the tattoo community, because you could pack up your machines and your ink and jump on your bike
and go anywhere.
We can't really do that.
You got a lot of stuff.
We got a lot of stuff. There's a lot of weight involved. There's kilns involved. Who's going to take it? Who's going to fire it? It's a lot. I'm very jealous of you guys. I am, because I watch you. I have forever, and I know you, and I've heard you talk, and I know you guys go places, and it's a beautiful thing. I hope the tattooers appreciate,
man,
that they can take their art with them.
Yeah, being able to travel and do art is so cool.
I mean, I can go to some other school that's got all the facilities, but I really can't hang out for the whole drawing process and all that kind of stuff. You guys, it's Johnny on the spot.
Yeah.
It's just so fabulous.
Yeah, tattoo shows
they're a hoot.
Wild thing. Yeah,
I love them.
Great.
They're a hoot. Yeah, it's a great thing. It's great that community has evolved into doing all that. You guys have such a camaraderie, that it's really cool.
There's a lot of shows out there that are, like mine, and similar shows where it is, curated to be a like-minded group, curated to be, people that are all on the same kind of page.
Why would you want to? As you told me, I don't hang out with assholes.
And try not to.
I mean, that's a good. I mean, when I got married, we had 2 criteria. When I got married 2 years ago, it was, number one, we're only going to invite people that knew us as a couple, and number 2, no assholes.
There you go.
Yeah, and it was fabulous.
Bingo.
Yeah, it was a great wedding.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So to finish this off, you said you got back the jug you gave your mom.
I did.
What year was that jug made?
I'd say 85.
I mean, it's
old. Yeah.
I mean, how many years is that? 85 to 25.
Well, it's 50 years?
50 fucking years.
Yeah.
50 years of face jugs.
I started when I was 5. So
that's right.
But yeah, it's amazing. And it's like I said, I unloaded a kiln 2 days ago, and I was as excited as the first time. I hope you feel that way.
Yeah.
About tattooing.
I love going to the tattoo shop.
Yeah.
I love it.
I love walking out to the studio.
Yeah.
I love it. And I love everything about that creative life that I have. And you're part of that. I love you guys. I love Greg. I love all those guys. That creative life that you and I have is, man, you just can't put a price on that.
I mean, the message to young people that want to create art is consistency, dedication, longevity,
stay the course,
hard work, find your path,
don't
stick
give up.
to it,
listen to everything we say.
Yeah.
But you know what else too? It's a different world.
Yeah.
I don't live in the same world as the young people. So I would say find your own path.
Yeah.
Don't follow me. Find your own path. Do what works in this economy and this time, but stick to your guns and wear it like a badge of honor.
But you're never going to be the guy that made face jugs for 50 years.
You might be.
If you stop making them.
Agreed.
You got to keep doing it.
Yeah. And you're never going to, I have this, look at this beautiful thing.
Handshakes.
Handshakes. This is my Oliver Peck that I wear with pride on a choice piece of meat on my body. And it's like, you're never going to get that Oliver Peck, perfection and beauty that's 15 years ago.
Man, I got old guys coming to tattoo shop and they have like an old tattoo that's pretty cool that they got wherever they got it, whenever they got it. A lot of veterans, a lot of people that got stuff from the war. And, or even whatever, but they want to like fix it up or clean it up or cover it up or whatever. And I was like, hey, listen, what I tell them, I was like, any 18-year-old off the street can go get a brand new tattoo today. Nobody can get that tattoo that you have on your arm.
That's true.
That is something you should cherish, that tattoo, because you got that in whatever year you got it, and wherever place you got it, and whatever time you got it, and whoever you got it from. That whole thing is a part of your history.
It is.
To to wipe it out with glossing it over with some new shit, it's just, I'm like, that's a bummer to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it's different if you were 18 and you got a SpongeBob,
right,
and now you want to get a cool tattoo over it, I get that. But when you had a tattoo that you like, it's just old.
Yeah.
Be proud of that old tattoo
that you got during World War II.
Be proud
when
of
you were in Hawaii.
Be proud of
on your way to the fleet.
Be proud of that old tattoo.
Yeah, I agree with that. And you know, it's like the pots I see. I mean, that jug that my mom had that I have now. You know, it's nothing to write home about. I mean, the work has progressed to a level that is so much better. But it's like you said, it was what it was.
But these wouldn't be here without that one.
Got to make that first one.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you know, and I would also like to say, I told kids 100 times, and I think it's still true. Look at stuff. You know, if you want to be any kind of artist, look at stuff, pay attention to stuff, go to shows. Even if you don't have any money, talk to the artists. You know, I know you're free with your information. I'm free with my information. I'll tell anybody anything they need to know to be successful. It's important. It's really important to look at stuff and talk to the artists and get out there, man, and don't be shy.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. And if they don't give you the information, that's their loss, because, you know, they could have learned something from you. I'm learning stuff all the time from people. And I'm really excited about the young kids that are coming up and are making great art. And like I said, find your own path. It would be my deal. And when you learned, it's a different world. You know, we could have come from the Stone Age.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, it's a different world. So I hope all these kids find their own way, because it's got to carry on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
and it will.
You're an inspirational character, and you've impacted a lot of people, and I appreciate you. And
I appreciate you.
And I feel lucky to have known you for so many years.
I feel the same way.
And
you're my brother.
Hey, yes, sir.
I love you, and you're a great man, and you're a charitable, kind-hearted, good person.
Well, I love you too, Carl.
And I appreciate that. Yeah.
I appreciate you, and I every year look forward to seeing more jugs.
Yeah, and every year I look forward to selling you more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Carl. All right, we're going to tell you all about where you can see Carl Black jugs, and we'll tag you and all that stuff. And
okay,
we'll
good.
Put some cool photos.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
And we'll talk soon.
All right, brother. Always good.
Great.
Always good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Come on, guys. Click all those links. Push all those buttons, because it really helps us out and gets us out there to more and more peeps. What in the Duck podcast is produced by Audra Cabral and John.com Niederkorn. Our sound, video engineer, and editor is Courtney, Junior Larkins. Initial audio video setup and intro music by Blake Balake Pinchon. And a big thanks to everyone that submitted questions. Y'all keep them coming. Email me any questions you would like me to answer to whatintheduckpodcast@gmail.com. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time on What in the Duck. What in the Duck podcast is proud to be sponsored by Anchor Screen Printing. Anchor Screen Printing has been printing t-shirts and merch products since 1999. Anchor is the place for quality, small-run items. At Anchor, every print is hand-done by people who care about art. You can email anchorcustoms@gmail.com to talk about getting something printed for your company, brand, or shop. Anchor Screen Printing also has its own online merch store that sells Elm Street Tattoo, Cheap Thrills, Heart and Hand, Party First Safety Maybe merch, and much more. So go to anchorscreenprinting.com today and buy some cool shit. Or you can click the link provided in this podcast to shop now.